What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is D Darrell on the D Darrell the Rebirth channel. Also simulcasting with This Is Not D Darrell for everybody that is listening, that is new to the channel, or those that have repetitively supported me. Please subscribe to my channel. This is not D Darrell. I'm well over the past month since my D Darrell channel has been shut down, and I know that my momentum was cut a bit short. That was a channel that had over 4,500 subscribers. Please subscribe to D Darrell. Please subscribe to This Is Not D Darrell, and also subscribe to D Darrell the Rebirth. So again, I definitely want you all to remember to do so. I want to get my subscriber count up on This Is Not D Darrell. It kind of started off hot and then it kind of simmered a little bit, and I want to get the subscriber count up a little bit more. Definitely gradually coming up more, continuing to increase more, and I want more people watching the live streams from that channel. Again, the D Darrell the Rebirth is my main channel that is primarily used for live streaming, as I am performing at this moment. For all of the more in-depth content, This Is Not D Darrell is the main channel where you're going to see uploads and live streaming, and also you're going to see premieres. You're not going to see that from D Darrell the Rebirth, and I want to make This Is Not D Darrell the main channel, and so on. So in order to do that, I got to get the subscriber count and viewership up. I know most people know that was my D Darrell the Rebirth was once called DDS Sounds by D Darrell, which was my music channel, and it was a backup channel, which so that's where I'm at right now, guys. Definitely want to give a shout out to LB, give a shout out to my girls Tiffany Griffin, and then one of my day ones, Charity Harden. What is up? Good to see you in here again. Good to see you coming back with D Darrell with the Conscious Clientele and so forth. So I'm doing a review show this week, and I will be doing an open panel. And for those that want to come up and talk about some of the things that I'm going to discuss, I will give you the opportunity to do so. But I just want to highlight things that I want to talk about. I will highlight things that have been going on, that has been going on in the previous week. I love to do it. I'm going to repeat. I love to do review shows at the end of the week. So this will be an open panel tonight, and I will be giving the link in a little bit. So this show will probably be somewhere around an hour and a half, no more than 2 hours. I'm trying to cut it between an hour and a half to 2 hours. My live streams, for the most part, I'm gonna try to keep them at an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm not trying to get into the 3, 4, 5 hour live streams. It's kind of difficult for me to do that these days. It's always been a struggle for me to do live streams that long, particularly if it's not on the weekend. I just have so many things to do, so many things going on. Today is the last day of my vacation, and so I'm going to enjoy this last little day, and I'll be getting back to work. I have a lot of things to do tomorrow. I have a lot of things going on with my businesses and so forth. A lot of things going on with my group home, the Janice House. Definitely would like you all to definitely, if you can, I would like you to, if you're willing and to cash at me, you can cash at me at this at $sign Darrell 77, where basically the donations go to the Janice House. Okay, the Janice House is my group home, which I provide adult mental health care and residential care to our community, particularly adult mental health clients. If you'd like to cash at me to donate to that, please do so. What's up, Catherine? What is going on? I got some of my favorite sisters up in there. I got Catherine in here. I got Charity Harden, one of my day ones. I got Tiffany up in here. Okay, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Loving this. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about. I'm gonna just say this. I will be doing pretty much shows from this point on for the rest of this week that will reflect on this year, 2020. Okay. I'm going to do a major show on Thursday afternoon, New Year's Eve. I'm going to do a review show of the for the week for the whole year, and then I'm going to do a review of all the music and stuff I've done, and so forth. I'm going to do a compilation of various songs that I have written and different beats that I've gotten into and says different stuff. I would definitely do that at the end of the new year, on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day, which is going to be that Friday. Okay. So I'm going to be doing content talking about from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. I'm going to be doing content talking about shit that has happened throughout the year and where we are in this black space. Okay. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that, and then I'm gonna probably do a premiere on that content so I can show that on This Is Not D-Durrell, which I like each and every one of you to please subscribe. Please subscribe to This Is Not D-Durrell. Also, I want to let you know I will be changing the name to This Is Not D-Durrell. I don't know what the actual name. I pondered upon a few ideas. And probably the following week, I will release and show a different name and the content that I will be doing. Okay. First thing I want to talk about for this week, I want to focus on the whole Umar supporters, all Umar supporters. I'm talking about people who are in here now, such as Tiffany, Catherine. I'm talking about TCTV. I'm talking about Poetic Flocka. I'm talking about C-Rock Smooth. I'm talking about Worldwide, Black Savage, Wackerfella. Yes, you will stay subscribed. Yes, you will, Catherine. You will stay subscribed to the channel. I want to talk about the fact that through this week, we have done some productive content on the support for Umar Johnson and going against those haters, those that are against him. However, you all know how I feel about Don. You all know how I feel about Don. I think Don is a piece of shit. I think Don is a fraud. And I think Don is milking this YouTube platform for whatever donations that he can get. And the people on the opposite side, the opposition, know and understand that, and they're going to be willing to give him money. They are weaponizing Don. Don don't give a damn because Don, and I don't care if he owns a t-shirt business. I don't give a damn if Don is hustling. The bottom line, Don is not for us. Okay? Don is not for us. Don doesn't care. Don is about himself. Don has always been about himself. Don is irresponsible. Don does not have foresight to improve himself in the future. And let's just let Don stay where he's at, which is a place where he's going nowhere and no improvement. Okay, I'm tired of talking about Don, but I know I've seen Don on panels. Don spends a lot of time on YouTube. Okay, Don constantly wants to play the victim. I've never talked to Don one-on-one and don't care to, but I've seen enough. I was one that was very hesitant to pass judgment on Don. I wanted to see what kind of character Don had and where he was going. And once I figured out that Don wasn't about shit, that's pretty much where I'm at with Don. And me and TCTV can have this discussion about Don. And you're right, LB. begging for money every 5 hours on YouTube. That's a guy. That's right. That's basically what he's doing. And TV is giving him all the time he can get. He got his own little YouTube show that he go talking shit. Then you got people like Gerald Palmer and Red and AKA Rainbow G. You got all these people making content about him, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Then you got Lennon Honor pretending that people don't know what he really likes to do. And look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Dunn said that yesterday he got over $1,200 in super chats so far. Damn. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. My backup, my channel D Darrell never made $1,200 in 1 month. I'm gonna have to check that out. I will check out her last. I did see. Matter of fact, I saw Anti-Afro. Andrea Stewart. She did a video. I don't know if this is the most recent video about a lawsuit and talking about the different lawsuits and stuff. That's the last video I've seen of Anti-Afro. She did, and then she did something about Gerald Palmer confronting C-Rock Smooth, which is just another thing I want to talk about. Okay, want to say C-Rock Smooth is, and they call everybody homophobic. They call C-Rock Smooth homophobic. My channel was shut down due to them claiming that I was being homophobic. They said that I was saying things about the LGBT community. I had hate speech. My channel got flagged several times for copyright claims. Lennon Honor made several claims saying that I put information on some of my videos that could have compromised his safety. This is what these guys do. They like to throw rocks and hide their hands. But the pressure is going to be on them in 2021. See, this year, it just heated up because it just started. Over the last 3-4 months, really since around July, August, things start brewing. And then it started going more and more and more up until this time. Okay? So they deserve everything they're getting. Lennon Honor he's trying to hide it, but I know that his household is in shambles. And he has doubts, all types of doubts about himself. I know it. He's trying to play it off, but I know for a fact he's having some household issues. So I have the link there. You can get the link if you want to come up. Also, I want to talk about the manosphere. Man, I'm so disappointed. The manosphere took so many L's this goddamn year is ridiculous. All they talk about, women, feminism, women. It's the same thing every goddamn week. Man, shout out to my boy G Dizzle. Man, G Dizzle did a banged up job a couple days ago, I think, where he did content on how the manosphere affecting young men. That was a guy that was on the show of this brother of mine that I'm cool with, LAR Movement, which he's in Houston. This brother got on here saying he listened to the manosphere since he was 13. Now he's 21. He's been listening to the manosphere for the last 8 years. And this brother is so out of touch. He's so awkward. He has all types of issues. And he needs therapy. And he has used the manosphere as an instrument to tell him how he's supposed to treat women. And of course, the manosphere has led him to a point where he can't get women. He don't know how to interact and speak to women. He don't know how to treat women. I would not advise any kid, teenager, young adult to be listening to this shit. Manosphere content is for entertainment purposes only. If anybody try to sell you anything different, please run away. Run away. run away. Okay? Please run away. And again, guys, KS, Kevin Samuels, of course, all over YouTube. He dominates the topics for YouTube and social media at this point. Everybody on Kevin Samuels' gravy train. Everybody trying to make money off of Kevin Samuels. Everybody, you know. And even for myself, I've done content actually against some of the stuff that he talks about because I think that a lot of the shit he says is bullshit. Just like all of these guys who claim to be dating coaches, they claim that they're a dating coach. They claim that they have, this and that. And some of these people have no credibility to do any of that. They have no formal training. They have no formal training to do anything. No workshops, no certifications. They don't work in the healthcare fields at all. Just people who think they know what the hell they're doing and don't know what the hell they're doing. That's what it is. That's what it has evolved into. Okay? What's up, Pink Lady? How are you doing? What's going on? Miss Pink Lady, she said, hey, D. Durrell in chat, what's going on? Good to see you in here. Please subscribe and share to my channel. This is not D. Durrell. Okay? I need to get some more subscribers. I need to get to 100. From that point, continue to grow. The Manosphere continues to talk about the toxic relationship between black men and black women. The same people talking about the same thing every day, every week with no solutions. And they refuse to listen to those who have an actual track record, like myself, and how to correct and help these types of people in these relationships. I mean, you would think you would want to listen to someone who's actually helped people stay married, who's actually helped people, improve themselves and so forth. But they don't want to listen to me. I'm D. Durrell the simp, per se. That's what I was told. I'm D. Durrell the simp. D. Durrell the Maggle. The Dagger, whatever the hell. And I'm going to say this, guys. I've tried to refrain from talking so much about black relationships between black women and black men, or just relationships, period. But at this point in 2021, I'm just going to do it. Okay? I can no longer just not do it. I'm also going to do more reviews. Yes, Pink Lady. There was a young man. I just heard you say the young man listening to the sector. Yes, little young guy, man. 21 years old, talking about 22, 23 years old, talking about he's red pill and you can't trust these females. And this is a guy who basically don't like anything about himself. He don't think he's attractive. He don't have confidence. He don't have a girlfriend. Okay. Never had a positive dating relationship with any, female in his life. The young brother needs guidance. The young brother needs someone to be there and help him in his development. And see, to be honest with you, there are a lot of guys in that sect who would listen to him and say, yeah, brother, you got it. You listen to us, you're taking in that game. But actually what he posed was a testimonial to why young kids in their adolescence to adulthood have no business. They have absolutely no business regurgitating or listening to this bullshit in the manosphere. You see, I came into the manosphere as a person who was looking for entertainment in 2016, around March, April of 2016. And I basically listened to it. I'm gonna repeat. I listened to the manosphere, okay, for entertainment purposes only. Everybody that I listened to, I was laughing. Like when I first started listening to Minister Jeff, I was laughing at the shit. I didn't take any of that shit for fucking for gospel. When I listened to O'Shea, that shit was funny. O'Shea is funny as hell. Even some of the shit I've seen in, this shit was funny. Angry Man, I never was, because he's one that actually believed the bullshit that he said. So I didn't listen to Angry Man as much because he actually believed the shit. He actually thought he was actually teaching. And some of these other goofy ass Negroes like BGS and Solo 84, these dudes actually believe some of this bullshit. They actually believe it. And that's the problem. But most of the guys, and even though that was the case, the manosphere at that time was not as extreme. Okay, they had the gender war thing that happened big time in 16 and 17. Then you had the revenue crisis, where a lot of people left the manosphere in Black YouTube because they felt the money wasn't in it anymore. Okay, what's up, mommy? How are you doing? That's another one of my sis in here. Oh, that's your picture, mommy. Okay, I didn't. You got your pic going. Okay, I see you. Pink Lady says AMS too. Well, AMS came later. AMS didn't really start. AMS, the induction, AMS became hot in 18. And to be honest with you, if AMS, that's Alpha Male Strategies, for those that don't know, if AMS was not listening to the manosphere, such as O'Shea and also Alan Roger Curry, there would be no AMS. Yeah, AMS didn't come into 2018. And to be honest with you, it was on the Brother Peel where he went one-on-one and he was called in debating and arguing with Steve the Dean. That was the actual incident that put Alpha Male Strategies on the map. Because that video that he had ongoing with Steve the Dean was epic, and it wasn't viral, but other people commented on it and they talked about it. And once AMS had that incident, it propelled his channel and he grew. Yeah, I'm happy to see you too. Happy to see you too, sis. And I like your pick, by the way. Loving the pick, definitely. So that will propel him to be at the point that he's at now. Now this brother is making $1 million a year off of his book, YouTube revenue, and courses and consultations. He has $1 million business off of YouTube. He's making ridiculous amounts of money. Yes, he has. Alpha Male Strategies has probably about maybe about 200 or 300 subscribers. The brother, yeah, he has his average. Yeah, he has, man, Alpha Male Strategies has a few hundred thousand, at least a few 100,000 subscribers. His average views are around 70,000, somewhere around. It can go up to the millions. Brother is making almost $1 million. Okay, that's the facts. That's the facts. What's up, Black Abe? Yes, he is. I know for a fact. Matter of fact, I know people that know AMS that in the back scenes. To be honest with you guys, I know quite a few people offline that's in YouTube. Big YouTubers, medium size, and what's up? What's going on? Make a change. You can get the link. I'm make a change. I definitely want you to get the link because I got some questions I want to ask you about this week up in the Umar anti-fraud sector of YouTube. I want to get your point of view on some things. I got some questions I want to ask you. Yes, Pink Lady, he makes that much. I know it for a fact. AMS makes over $1 million. And the $1 million that he makes probably 300 to 400. He makes about 200,000 to 300,000 in YouTube revenue. He has his book. His book is actually what is making a lot of money. And on top of the books, the consultations. To be honest with you, between the books and the consultation, he makes more money off the books and the consultations that he gets well over than what he will make in YouTube itself. Okay. Now Kevin Samuels is doing good, but he's not making alpha male strategy money right now. He may make that next year. He ain't making that right now. He just began making money about 6 months ago. He's up there. Kevin Samuels is probably making around 300 grand, 300 to 400 grand. He's on pace to make that. He's not making alpha male strategy money, not yet. Not yet. But he's going to get there for sure. And he probably surpass it. The truth, Black Abe said, truth be told, Manuscript is a hyper version of Tariq Nasheed's Mac Lessons. In a sense, I would say that. Okay. Also, speaking of Alan Roger Curry, brother has an ego out of this fucking world. And I know Alan Roger Curry been around. Alan Roger Curry was talking a lot of shit on Reg the Bad Guy show where he was expressing how long he's been around, which he has. And I'm going to be honest with you, Alan Roger Curry was a comedian. He has been on national shows. He's been on Oprah. He's been on Phil, I think, Dr. Phil. And he's done some national syndicated shows. And he actually talked about the fact that Kevin Samuels they saying that he's upset with the success of Kevin Samuels when I've been on media outlets that Kevin hasn't partaked in yet, has not been invited to, which is true. And I think that, and like I stated, man, the brother is hot in YouTube, he's hot in social media, but he's making a decent amount of money, but it has not gotten to the mainstream yet. He's not, even though people think so. He's not. And do I think Kevin has the potential to get there? Yes. I think this year or next year, he'll probably he's going to get a major opportunity to be on a major network, cable or national TV. And people may gravitate to what he's doing. And they're going to look at him as a YouTube sensation who is now carrying over to mainstream success. And the manosphere is going to ride this goddamn coattail till they can't ride it anymore. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Also, guys, I want to talk about my brother Umar Johnson. And people are talking about Umar Johnson's latest interviews and so forth. People are talking about how, saying some things about Umar's latest interview when he was on a panel and so forth. He talked about people saying Umar Johnson don't like successful black men. Umar is going to say controversial stuff. Okay? I didn't hear the whole video at all, so I'm not going to comment on it as much as far as specifics. But every time Umar, he was on Fox Soul, I think. Yeah, I think he was on Fox Soul. And he was on somebody's, man. It was somebody. If it wasn't Fox Soul, it was whoever it was, you know. He was on Fox Soul actually a month ago, actually. But no matter what he says, people are going to take it and they're going to give it whatever narrative that they think is appropriate, whether or not it's the truth or not. And there's so many people eating off of Umar's name. There are people eating. Matter of fact, Umar Johnson is probably the only person on YouTube that people are actually using his name to make money more than Kevin Samuels. Right now, they may be neck and neck at this point. They may be neck and neck. And see, to me, I don't even pay attention to Tommy Sotomayor, Pink Lady. Yeah, Tommy Sotomayor makes a lot of money too, but Tommy Sotomayor spends a lot of money ridiculously. So it is what it is. Mommy says, I don't think, if not, it's very jealous, but if you are somebody who is a professional in that field and actually studied to be more proficient, it's difficult to see someone with no experience take over. Well, I'm going to say this. Like, I don't have a problem with people claiming to be dating coaches because there are training workshops and things that you can do. It is an ungovernable field in which people claim they can help. It's self-help. And do therapists act as marriage coaches or dating coaches? No. However, when you look at what dating coaches do, marriage therapists and therapists, we coach at times. It's just not something that we do in the majority in the relationship. That may be a time like a person's having issues with dating. We may go through some, role playing or behavioral simulation strategies and skills to help them become more comfortable with communication. We don't quote unquote just coach, even though that's something you can do. If you want to supplement your income, you can. Particularly the life coaching stuff is what a lot of therapists do. Also, they may do some what's up, BMT? Come on up. Well, let me send the link again, guys. It's an open panel. I thought Make a Change was gonna come up. I guess he decided not to. I thought Make a Change was gonna come up. So then we see Lennon Honor doing his thing. He constantly, yes, he is eating. His whole family eating off of Umar's name. Catherine. They're eating off his name big time. Big time. And he's still doing the Umar Johnson videos. And, he flagged my channel down, claiming that I provided information that made it unsafe for him. And so, but that's what he goes around doing. And again, guys, flag his channel. Flag Anti-Afro Bengali's channel. I've been harping on that for the longest. Flag it. Every time they go live, flag the damn channel. Flag it. Flag his channel. I also want to talk about, I saw, okay, you say you're getting a snack. Go ahead and get your snack, man. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Catherine Brown says he doesn't like me on the low at D. Darrell, the Rebirth. If I'm here, he won't come. Make a Change, cool. We had our little up and downs, but it is, man. It is what it is. Pink Lady says, Darrell, in my opinion, name some good male, female coaches on YouTube. None. None. I don't like none of them because they all telling lies. And to me, the ones that are the most popular are actually the ones that are the least likely to tell you the truth. Okay, like they lying, like Derrick Jackson, lying ass. Coach Greg Adams, lying ass. Stefan something, lying ass. Lying. Shira 7, lying. Chrissy, lying. Crystalline Karazin, lying. All of them lying. Name Pink Lady, name one. It says you're saying there are some good ones. Please educate me on the good ones. Okay. Catherine said, notice there will be no more live streams from IG no more. Why not? So, Pink Lady, name some. I want you to name some reputable dating. Matter of fact, guys, I want you all to tell me what you think about this. What do you think about me doing one dating coach, life coach / relationship coach live stream a week, or let's say a video a week? I'm thinking about doing one dating coach, relationship coach / life coach segment a week. Tell me what you think about that. I'm actually really thinking about doing that because what I want to do is educate you on an actual reputable person who actually has a history of helping people in these areas, and I want you to compare and contrast the type of advice and things that I say versus what you hear in this space. Okay, that's what I want to do. I want you all to hear some real information that's really going to help you long term, and not banter to basically hearing banter that basically is catering to a specific group or demographic of people. So, and that's going to be I'm thinking about that. I don't know how I want to package it, but I really am thinking about doing that. What's up, BMT? BMT?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, brother?
Not too much. I'm just coming back from vacation, but definitely wanted to just chill. Take some. I had to take a break from the madness of
yes,
black.
I know.
Of black YouTube. My goodness, it's some people have we're understanding that our people are having a hard time disassociating reality from YouTube. And it's very staggering. It's very dangerous, especially with the way how the climate of this country and the world is becoming. And what you say is true. I met a good brother over there at the resort. Good brother, and I was like, yeah, like a lot of people that I do know that are putting in the work or have boots on the ground do not have time to be on YouTube. They're too busy.
Yep.
They're too busy doing things, keeping up with schedule, actually, being places, actually making stuff go on. But you got to think you're working from the ground level on up. Not to say that there aren't some people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, which he is a financial advocate, and he's been doing it for years. But when you're talking about certain people, they have a lot of things. And see, you gotta understand, when you're looking at YouTube, you're only seeing like the top of the iceberg for a lot of stuff. You're not actually seeing everything play by play what's going on. And You know, it just blows my mind that sometimes people they know everything, but they watch. Well, I watched 3 or 4 YouTube videos from somebody else, and I know how this works. So I know how to do that. Okay, cool. You got it. You got it. And then that's why some people say it's better for me just to do the work than waste my time having to come do these. Sit down in front of y'all. You know, whenever it comes time for educating and teaching the masses, you know, I mean, you gotta understand. YouTube is heavily censored. There's only so much you can do versus what you can do hands on, and some things you want to actually be hands on to make sure that it succeeds. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Right, man. It's right. So I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, it sounds like you've been reflecting since your channel been down. You've been kind of reflecting on things a little bit about YouTube.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I actually have been. Like, I've been having a lot of people call me, request for me to do things and X, Y, and Z. I'm not gonna lie. Probably my channel taking this hit the way it was, because you saw how big I was with my channel. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when you're talking about certain types of power, certain types of things being done, and what we realize in this space is, me and Dee, to be fair, we have been in this space. We're very seasoned around in this space, um, from different things, not just Black YouTube, but different sectors of YouTube have requested on us to do different things. Hell, we now have it where I've been having it where the political side of different cultures, they want to talk with certain Black men, not just any Black men. I'm sorry, they want to talk with certain types of Black men about, hey, so what's going to be y'all? You know why? Because they're looking at men that have certain merit of fruit or certain knowledge, and they want to know, like, so what are you and your people planning on doing? Now, some people say that's disrespectful. That's not, because they're wondering. It's just like the pilgrims wondering what is the Native Americans going to be doing over there for the wintertime. Now,
Yeah.
and there's a good clause for that. For 2021, different groups are trying to get ready for us. There's going to be a lot of changes. It's going to be a lot of changes. Sitting here talking about putting on a suit and sitting in front of a camera talking about women all day, I don't know how the hell that is changing politically or economically or financially the home, the city, the town, your area, the laws for you and your children. I don't know how the hell that's helping you move our people forward. A man talking about, hey, I can put up a school that can teach your kids legacy building. You have a bigger shot with that, but you're planting seeds. Understand that's one of the biggest things. You got to where other people, they're trying to get policies passed for teaching the masses their programming. You know, if your main prerogative is learning how to get sex, and I'm no offense, but you done dumbed yourself down to a Neanderthal. You did. You
Yeah.
know, I'm sorry. So go ahead, brother.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, man. And that's why I keep telling these people, um, I keep telling these people, like, these guys talking about, well, you should debate this person, or you should have this with this. I'm like, why should I go on a panel when you know how people call you and actually do you want to come on a panel and stuff like that? Why should I go on into certain spaces to attempt to have an intellectual debate with on topics that are not even intellectual based? Like, you can only debate stuff on relationships so many times.
Right.
And then what usually happens when people get frustrated and mad, they start yelling, cursing, and want to call you names. And I'm like, I'm like, say for instance, man, somebody did a video. I know you familiar with John the Analyst.
Yeah.
This Negro did a video on me early this week talking about I like D Darrell, but D Darrell a real simp, but I like D Darrell. I'm telling this fool, okay, how you gonna tell me that you cool with me or you doing something in support of me, but you just called me a simp because I don't think you don't agree with the stuff that I say. And sure enough, a lot of little minions from Red Channel was popping up in there. Yeah, D Darrell, this you. I'm like, what? So what you want me? You want me to go on Red Channel to call you out? Like Brian X called me out one time over Kevin Samuel's success and some white boy success because he said, well, yeah, D Darrell did a song and nobody cared, but this white boy said something similar saying black women this, and he got 1 million views, and now he got who gives a shit?
Right. You
Like
gotta
who?
No, you're right, D. You listen, man. You're dealing with YouTube versus reality. YouTube versus reality. And I would say, and I give you your standing ovation of praise. Sometimes you know me, sometimes I have no problem saying, hey bro, take a break. Go
Yep.
Go take you and your lady, y'all just go out for a weekend and don't just live your life. That's what I went and did. I went and just lived my life. Some of these people cannot go do that.
Nope.
Some of these people cannot go. This is the furthest to the truth that their life is. And you got to understand in the climate of things, this is how you can tell when this is why I never understood when y'all start using that alpha word. This is why I never understood y'all, because it definitely showed that a lot of people can't think for themselves. You can't. When I hear the talk, like I had to talk with this one woman on the panel. She was like, ask your she told a man, ask your wife if she's submissive. Now, mind you, we on a panel. I said, why would you want that man to ask his wife a dumb question?
Very
Wow.
dumb.
He's on a panel in front of strangers that she don't know to humiliate her.
Exactly.
I said, that's a dumb question. Wait, but I said, see, this is how you know those who are in the home versus those have a precognition of the home. You gotta just listen to the man of their fruit, D, like by the stuff that they say. Just like when me and you having that conversation about, and we're gonna have a conversation about that. Trust me, believe. Whenever you're ready, about they're calling the men that are providers, tricks, simps, betas, and we're blue pill simps. But somehow a man that his woman going to work and doing X, Y, and Z, and he's sitting at home, he's an alpha. You can't make this up with this mentality. So the men that are going out, mind you, y'all listen, I'm not sure if y'all are black men in this world. I don't know a day where your ass is not going to be going out there working and fighting for your kingdom. I ain't never know a day. I don't think Dean does not know a day where we have to go out there and be 10 toes down. But you're talking about sitting at home and hoping a woman bring you some food and X, Y, and Z, and you spitting game? What kind of docile shit is that? Excuse me, I didn't mean to be cursing. But this is why you can't take. This is why you can't take it serious. This is why I be saying, like, some people after a while they get tired of rebuttal and answering back. They're like, y'all stupid. You stupid. There's no need to reply back. You talking about you want to be a man and respected on the world stage by other groups and other cultures, but then you saying you want to just lay at home and be on YouTube while every other man is out there fighting for domination. What kind of crap is that? Women, you too. Y'all talking about I have yet seen a divestment success story yet. I haven't even seen that one damn divestment story. As much as we keep seeing them showing these little TikTok videos of these. You know, we have yet seen any successful brands or any of them come to say, ladies, we're not going to bring y'all successful brands on camera to sit right by you. I ain't seen not one of y'all showing y'all man off yet. But y'all divesting. Weird. Weird.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. You got to peep the play. You got to peep the play.
It's true. What's up, Black Savage?
Nothing much, man. How you doing, Dito? What's good, King?
I'm good, brother. What's on your mind?
Nothing. I was just came here to tell you, like, not everybody look at that Don situation. You know, I mean, not everybody's like mad at you about Don's situation. I actually appreciate the way you came out there and talked about Don, because
Okay.
everybody's caping for this man, and it's getting out of control.
Exactly. But man, BMT, they got a homeless guy. Check this out, BMT. A homeless guy that worked for Umar Johnson has now made $1,200 in 1 month in super chats. You heard me, BMT?
I hear you.
It's more than that. That was on Cash App.
Cash App.
Yeah.
In 1 month.
And
1 month. Going BMT. 3-4 hours a day begging for money. That's his new hustle.
So here's the set. Listen, man. This is why I don't take these. That's why I don't take these savages seriously anymore. I don't take these savages seriously anymore. This is why. Listen, man. We losing our people. This is why some groups of people just give us the handouts. Because you see here on these real life things, you can have it where I've seen you teach things that you would have to pay classes to go sit into. I have done things that called, listen, y'all, just for y'all to sit or talk with me about certain stuff, you're going to be paying me $100 off the gate. But because I said, Dean, let's go ahead and do this. Let's just talk about it and get them instructions. Those will be the least watched videos. But if a white man or somebody else who wouldn't even bother hiring some of y'all funky asses, what a doggone say it, it's fucking gold. It's gold.
But that also go to personality. Like, what are they attracted to? Like, are they, so you can't really, because some people do got successful, educational videos out there, but because people like their personality, their persona, that's why they watch them.
So it's proven this. YouTube has drastically shown Black people are heavily materialistic. We're heavily materialistic. And in saying that, because most people I know that are successful, they don't care to try to show off their wealth.
That is true.
They don't care. I can tell you right now. I'm ex-military, and I've been entrepreneur for so long. I think one of my first videos was teaching young brothers how to properly start up their LLC and go. I think I just did show X about being a blue collar to go into being owning 2 businesses. You know how many that was like 132 views. But I promise you, if I were to say I was doing a debate about how single mothers destroy the world, oh my God, boy, that's
but listen.
Black people materialistic.
Yeah, the LLC, I'm not gonna agree with you on that, because I own my own business and you don't have to have an LLC. It's only for certain, reasons. LLC is not really that necessary for online.
So let me get with it. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic for a lot of y'all. Every Black person ain't meant to be at home. All of y'all ain't meant to be owners.
Homeless.
A lot of y'all, and another thing about it is a lot of Black people. We can definitely tell from how me and Dee have been having conversations with a lot of different groups. A lot of y'all don't know how to. A lot of Black people don't know how to do the proper paperwork. Diderot, I watched him snap off when people talk about that they could not get loans and paperwork, and then he said, "Then what would you always say, D? Do you have your receipts? Do you have your paperwork right?"
Yeah. Do you have your paperwork? Do
For
you
loans?
have your balance statement? Do you have
Okay.
all the financial things that are necessary?
And what they say, why would I need all that, D? Why do I need
Yep.
all that?
Yeah.
Guess what? D
Exactly.
say, so how you gonna go
That's no
request
financial
for something?
literacy though.
Well, hold up. So when you're saying that, hey, okay, I'm making such and such amount of money,
Uh-huh.
but then something like this now is happening. See, now you're going to have to show your work, because if you're trying to see, this is why it's hard for Black people. This is why sometimes it's hard for us to move to the next stage, because for you to move to the next stage, you got to have certain types of credentials and credibility. I mean, no offense, but there's a guy that just puts on a suit and says, I work and own DR, and shit, everybody believes that shit. I'm still looking up I'm still looking at his concrete place of business. That thing shows a white person's house. So I'm definitely understanding that shit. You don't got to be much to prove that you Jesus in this place.
Yeah.
You have a whole doggone doctor that's really saying play by play. Y'all see what I'm trying to do? Either A, y'all still want to work for the white man system, and if y'all do, have at it. But those who are actually trying to build their own system, we spat at them.
You talking Dr. Umar?
Well, Dr. Umar, yeah, Dr. Umar, I'm using him for an example.
Okay.
That's for the topic. Everybody will say, well, Dr. Umar, why don't you get X, Y, and Z? Well, if that was the case, Dr. Umar could say, well, shit, fuck the paperwork. I'm just going to go ahead and go get a few trailers, drop them down, and just throw some people in there who know how to do some education. He's like, no, I want us to be a legit established school. I want us to be looked at like Duke, like Yale. I want us to be not. He said, I'm not trying to be like them schools, but I want the school that is built.
They have no faults.
Yeah, because understand, you as a Black man, anything you do on the world stage, when it starts to accumulate and show results of power, best believe
people
the
gonna pick
enemy
at it.
will come knocking at your door to say, hey, if you don't got the right paperwork, I'm shutting you down. And they have no problem doing it. Actually, a lot of men and women, they started making it. They said they started getting to a certain level, and then they end up like goddamn Lil Wayne.
So wouldn't that work in a so for example, people on his live the other day, Max V Live, said the reason Dr. Umar hasn't been arrested yet or charged or nothing because he's a Black person, and law enforcement don't really care about Black people hurting Black people. So wouldn't that contradict what you're saying?
That's a lie.
I know it's a lie. I'm just saying it, like repeating the ignorance, rhetoric they spreading.
Half the Black people, 90% of the Black people who are locked up right now are locked up for hurting other Black people.
Exactly.
So if that's the case, you couldn't say that this reputable. It wouldn't even be credible to say there's Black on Black crime if that's the case.
Yeah, but that's what the people on Max V Live was saying. For example, this guy named Antonio Barnes I know he a troll and a coon, but he was just saying like the reason they ain't like Dr. Umar up yet because white people don't care that a Black man is scamming Black people. And he just said, and BMT just said, if you on the highest stage, they can come after you. So how would that,
Here's the thing about it. Sometimes, who needs the white man card to come after you when I have the Black man card doing my work? Why would I need to attack you when I already got some Neanderthal fools? But see, let me tell y'all something. Most men and women that I know, this is why, like I said, this is why sometimes you gotta unplug yourself when you're making certain moves. This is why you don't ever see me tell you. Like I said, me and you do certain things. Do you ever see us go public and tell everybody? Nope, we just go do it. Then after a while, they say, "Oh, when the hell did y'all start doing all this?" We couldn't tell y'all. There was no point. Because see, one thing I know about this goddamn Negro, this Negro will surely try to find chinks in the armor before he even try to see, well, shit, I get it's a boat or it's a raft, but damn, that raft, it don't look too good. So I don't think y'all should go out there. Well, then hell with you. Stay your ass right there. But let a white man build a goddamn raft. Y'all think it's the next thing sliced bread. Let the Latin man be doing it. I ain't never seen so many people talk down on the business, the family, the Black man, the Black women, but then they get right on goddamn Negro tube and then complain about the same thing that they talking down on and saying, why don't we have this? What do you think, you dumb motherfucker? You got us trying to build from scratch. But you keep on tearing down the raft. So I can't ever build a goddamn boat, but you tearing down the goddamn raft. I just need to go to the other side of the island and don't tell you a god. This is why I said when some black people were doing their damn thing back in the day, they didn't tell everybody. They just told their children, listen, we're gonna just do this, don't say nothing, don't tell nobody what we're doing in our house. Because they're afraid that they're afraid, Savage, if you make it, if D makes it, if I make it off of the strength of what we were saying, then that means that they were always wrong and they wasted their time. That's why we get so happy when we see another black person fail. This is why I always find it interesting whenever we have a black person that's not Adolf come on, and then we say, hey, we are old this, we're old that. Well, let them say, oh, we're going to give certain group or people a certain amount of money. Now, they'll take their money, they'll take their check, they'll say their people matter. But the minute you say Adolf matter, hold up. The minute you say, hey, black boys matter, wait, hold up, what about black girls? Well, the minute you say, black, dark-skinned women matter. Whoa, why are you saying that? See, the minute you say something that does not include their narrative of power, you're an enemy.
So BMT, how do you feel about Dr. Umar versus Dyson?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up
because
that
that's exactly
I was going to say.
Yeah, because that's exactly what he's talking about ADOS. Dr. Umar fighting against ADOS because Dr. Umar wanted to see everybody as all black Africans and not just.
See now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna chime. I want to chime in. I'm glad you brought this up.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, D.
I'm gonna let BMT. I'm glad you brought. This is one of the main things when people try to say we caping for Umar. People have disagreements ideologically from Umar, including myself. There's several things that Umar says that I don't agree with, and that's actually one of the biggest things.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the Pan-African, and I'm a Pan-African too. Okay, but at the same time, it's just like.
Well, you Pan-African and ADOS?
Huh?
You Pan-African and ADOS?
Yes.
Oh wait, okay. I know you.
And I'm gonna tell you how you can be both because that's the problem. People don't want to have any flexibility. It's almost like the black Republican that's caught in a conundrum of, well, if you the black Republican, you a sellout. No, that there is flexibility in that, in how you approach being a conservative black Republican. Just like if I'm Pan-African, you see, when you're Pan-African, being Pan-African doesn't mean that you can't be for a certain group of people in which you come from that have a certain set of circumstances. You see, it would be foolish for us as black people, as ADOS people, to think, and I'm gonna say this. It would be foolish for us as ADOS people to think that we have the same situation as somebody in Brazil. That's two different circumstances. Yes, we're all descendants of the same of slavery and so forth, but our circumstances and the situation that we operate in with the government that we have to deal with is different than what the black Brazilian has to deal with the Brazilian government. Same thing for those that live in England. Same thing for those that are. See, we and particularly Jamaica. Let's look at the Caribbean. I'm gonna use this as an example. When the ADOS phenomenon began to come about back in, I want to say 2018, where people were talking ADOS and doing a lot of ADOS. We're really 17, but I'm gonna say 17, 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of people that were Caribbean, okay, that were anti-ADOS. But at the same time that they were anti-ADOS, they didn't want to talk about the fact that they was trying to get $250 billion in reparations from Great Britain. Now, how the hell you, as a group of people that have a certain similar circumstances as us, they dropped you off first in the Caribbean before they dropped us off in America, you fighting for reparations, 250 plus billion from Great Britain, right? But you telling us in America, we can't fight for trillions of dollars in reparations from America.
Okay, hold on, D-Row. Hold on, D-Row. So are you for or against? Okay, let's see, hypothetically speaking, because I don't really believe that white men can give black people money in America, but they are owed money in America, black people.
Well, it's a lot, but see,
go ahead,
it's not a matter. But see, this is the thing. It's not a matter of what we think.
I know you're old. You're old.
See, when we look at the fact of what we think they're going to do versus what we can force them to do,
exactly, yeah,
different things.
But what I was saying, I'm gonna put it in perspective here or context.
Okay.
Do you think? Well, I'm gonna ask you a question first. Are you for? Let's say you're an ADOS. Okay, so
yes.
What is the requirements of being an ADOS? Is there? Okay, just give me the requirements of being an ADOS.
Well, I'm part of ADOS Bay Area, so I can explain unless you already know, D-Darrell.
Well, I'm going to say it from my understanding. Okay. Mm-hmm. See, the way I'm looking at it from ADOS is that you are basically a person that mm-hmm. that has descendant. You are a person of African descent mm-hmm. that have ancestry that is lineage that is linked to American slavery in this country. Okay, that mm-hmm. means that
does that have to be direct bloodline or linked? What does that
direct bloodline. Direct.
I can't hear you.
Direct bloodline, meaning that your family came. Our ancestors that came from West Africa came to America. You have lineage that dealt with slavery, that dealt with Reconstruction, that dealt with the Reconstruction, the Civil Rights Movement, and so forth. Those are the atrocities. Those are the things that, as a people, we had to endure. See, it doesn't. See, what we have to understand is that the plight of black people didn't end after slavery ended.
I know.
It followed
150 more years. Really?
Yeah, it followed Jim Crow laws, and it followed, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Civil Rights Movement. Okay,
so doesn't that make it more complex that way? You thinking?
No. It actually makes it very simple because historically you can identify and you can illustrate how one situation. Notice we never had a break in anything. When one situation happened, another set of circumstances came thereafter.
So another question. If let's say hypothetical.
Can I answer the first one before you do the second?
Go ahead.
Okay. So what D-Darrell has said is true from a verbal standpoint. But right now, I'm going to speak to you about the political answer. What we're trying to do is have a study which answers in black and white for you, approved by Congress, what it is. But the anti-black people or the non-ADOS people don't even want us to have a study. At this point, we're not even talking money or anything like that. We're trying to get those black and white documented answers for you because everybody, the Italians got reparations in Louisiana, the Chinese and the Japanese got reparations, but they all had to do studies first. And the Polish people living in Israel pretending to be Israel, but they're really Hitler refugees since 1941. They get 700 to 500 million every year from your FICA check, from the FICA section of your check. So that's the answer to it. Go ahead to your second question.
Okay, the reason I was go ahead. Okay. You got all I was saying. Okay, go ahead.
What I wanted to add to that. Oh, go ahead, brother. Just go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm getting the latest. I'm talking over you. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay, what I wanted to add in regards to the study, and the study, the issue that I have with the study, and I know that these other groups have received these certain things and so forth, but the fact of the matter is that I question who does the study, who will be contracted to do the study, and who's going to be funded to do this study. Because I feel that we can't have other people doing a study on us and telling us what they think based on their study what we deserve. Now, that's because that's the issue with what was it? HR 44 was about HR 44, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, HR 44, which basically, and this is one issue I had. I was at an ADOS meeting. I actually protested against a lady by the name of Sheila Jackson Lee, who has Caribbean ancestry, who voted against HR 44. And one of the reasons why she voted against is because from a legacy standpoint, or from a lineage standpoint, she wouldn't qualify for it. Okay, and then also let's look at it from this other thing, and Mr. Research can attest to this. There was another meeting that they had back in, I want to say 2018 or 19, I think it was 2018, or was it 19, where they had a meeting Congress had a hearing about reparations. You had a brother that was speaking who was of Latino heritage, sitting there telling us as ADOS that we don't deserve to have exclusive rights to getting reparations. It should be with all black people.
So
right.
You remember that? You remember that, Mr. Research?
Yes, I remember, and I remember the young 22, 24-year-old guy with no real history reference. But go ahead.
So what I'm trying to ascertain is the fact that if we do the study, I'm concerned about the people that are going to be in the forefront of computing the data and doing the assessment to determine what we are owed. And there are going to be certain ulterior motives in that process. And so here's the
pushback, though. Before you even finish that, here's the pushback. We have to do it through Congress, and it's a multifaceted thing. It is not just one group. It is a multifaceted thing where several octopus arms get their data and they come all back to the think tank. To your point, though, something you and I have talked behind the scene, Black men should be doing similar to what Black Demographics has done and what Obama did when he did his research with that one guy. We need to bankroll our own person to sit side by side in this think tank and have our numbers independently ran. Because what we cannot do, just between you and I, D. Durrell, we can't sit back and critique the Congress situation that has happened way before we even was thought about and have a concern about it, but we at least could bankroll a person to sit right there and do what we do. I'm sorry to interrupt you, D. Durrell. I just wanted to say that before you finish.
And I agree. We do need to bankroll not just one person, but maybe several people. A group of people actually would be more effective. But to me, I have no issues with the study. I have issues of who's going to be operating and at the forefront of constructing the data. That's the issue I have. You know, that's the issue. Yes, the study needs to be done. I do think that the study needs to be done. It should be done, but I'm concerned that there are going to be people that are not going to have our best interest, going to be the one that's going to be determining what we should get, when we should get it, and how we should get it.
But that's the way of the white society, because that's the way of the white society, because the white man always in the hand in the cookie jar. But my second question was, okay, so when you said $80 requirement, like the core requirement is to be a descendant of a black slave in America, right? So hypothetically speaking, let's say a white person, a physical white person, because they had, black slavery in their bloodline, would they be considered ADOS as well? Like, it makes it so complicated. But it makes it so complicated.
I'm gonna tell you why.
What if they mixing over? Like,
because just of the fact that they are physically white and their birth certificate says so, they are afforded certain privileges that we are not afforded just on the basis of being black.
But that's what I was trying to say. It makes it so complicated.
Let me qualify that, Black Savage, before you go into the thing. Let's do a historical thing on what D. Durrell just said. So the $1 Indians had the same problem. When historically, and this is just historical document, this ain't me and D. Durrell making a speech. When it was time to give the Indians something back through the government, you had white people going up all of a sudden, to D. Durrell's point, pretending to now claim they're quarter Indian, and the government granting so many things to those white people who were pretending to be Indian all of a sudden. That dilutes the whole point of giving back to the Native Americans, which is why Trump and his team allowed the Oklahoma to go back to the Native Americans, or parts of Oklahoma, because of the injustice of that. Another thing is, Mr. Savage, when you look at Cuba would let the lighter skinned Cubans come over, because it was like, you get in a inner tube and you escape Fidel Castro.
Cuba is really racist.
But when it was a black Cuban, they were sent back to Cuba. Now that Obama has opened up Cuba, do you see Fidel Castro going crazy? No, because it was never true. Those white Cubans just wanted to hold water. And that's the strength of what D. Durrell is saying. Go ahead, gentlemen.
Well, the reason I was saying that, because ADOS gets really complicated when the main requirement is just to be a descendant of a slave or slaves back in whenever slavery ended. That's why I say it becomes really complicated and complex.
Why would that be complicated?
Because a lot of people you think that don't need the privileges of the reparations will then be entitled to the reparations based on bloodline. That's why I was saying that.
Wait, repeat that again?
Okay, for example, the people that we're asking reparations for, some of those people will also gain those same reparations. They will gain the same reparations we're asking for.
How is that?
Because just because you have dark skin doesn't mean that's because you have dark skin means you're a descendant for slavery. You can be also white and be a slave. Descendant for slavery, because
historically. Hold on,
there wasn't white slaves. No, there wasn't white slaves. I'm not claiming they're white slaves. I'm saying there were African people that will marry or have sex with a white. The African slaves will
have sex. Saying they have some of that in their blood,
and no, they will be directly descendant of slavery. That's the same way. And what D. Durrell is saying.
What you're missing is due to your physicality, how you were treated based on physicality. Mm-hmm. If you're a person, just because you have if you want to allude to the 1 drop rule or 8% or whatever, the fact that you are physically a white person, you're going to be treated as a white person, regardless of how much African blood that you have. Your birth certificate is going to say that you are a white person.
Okay.
See, this is based on socialization. This is based on social interaction. This is not based on the fact that somebody's looking at a percentage or a statistical breakdown of your genetics, and therefore we're going to treat you.
What's the study for then?
Huh?
What's the study for then?
The study is to disprove everything that you're questioning now on paper.
Okay.
At the end of the study. Right. So that at the end of that's why people are working so hard to stop the study. Is so that we don't get these things documented. Mm-hmm. It's so that we don't have, because when you're on the Senate floor, you have to come up with arguments why or against. And then you have to put your name toward those votes. Mm-hmm. Now we get to look at who's with us, who's not with us. It is a long process. It ain't like a quick 2-year, 4-year thing.
Okay.
So that's why stopping the study seems ridiculous on its face, because you don't even want. I mean, let's put it this way: 40 acres and a mule was documented and promised to black people at that time. And then the next president just ripped it away because he could. So it's stuff like that that our younger people don't realize about history as it relates to black folks. Is you have these things that are promised to you and then it gets ripped. One more thing I'll say, Mr. Savage, look at England.
Mm-hmm.
England, the real English people are Welsh people, but the king and queen are actually descendants of Spain and France. A lot of people don't know that.
And Germany, and they got Germany. The Boleyn family actually has Germany.
And Germany. So people look at England, they like, yeah, but they English. No, not according to their bloodline, which is D. Durrell's point. According to their bloodline, they're from France, England, German. The Welsh people who have their dialect, who have their flag, them, the Irish, not so much the Scots. Them and the Irish are the ones who've been there all the whole time. Wessex used to have 4 kings at one point in time. So because we don't understand this history, Mr. Savage, respectfully, we have to have these studies so we can break it down on paper. So even a person like you or your future grandson who actually gets the benefit of the ADOS movement.
Technically, I'm not an ADOS, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Because see, I think the real thing we got to understand is, and I'm sorry, D. Durrell, for hogging the mic, but the real thing we got to understand, Mr. Savage, is we don't have a flag we can run to. We don't have our grandfather's flag.
And
if we had a Nigerian flag, a Haitian flag, we'd have bounced out of here a long time ago. But we don't. And therefore, we're kind of like people with no land. And black folks have constantly helped America. Matter of fact, the Indians would still own Oklahoma, Montana, and all those other places if black people didn't help go out into the deserts to fight the Indians for the white people. So it's stuff like that. That's why we need a study so we can sit up here and explain it in detail to people like you who have those questions.
So you know, I said I took in everything people were saying. So when it comes to Black Savage, a lot of the stuff going on, like before, like for me, I'm Geechee Gilla. We don't do what a lot of our ADOS brothers are doing right now. We just went straight to the UN because we understood that the studies that were going to be provided to a lot of these people are going to be bullshit. So you're going to have to start hiring and supplying your own people.
And that's kind of Dr. Umar's take on it too. So
you're going to have to start going around and see. The thing about it, this is why when I said before, especially when it comes to that, you'll have an easier time getting people outside of your camp this day and age to co-sign to hire them to just do a job versus sometimes getting your own people, because best believe you have your own people that are definitely hindering him. I don't want you to think everybody who is actually possibly a descendant of ADOS, they're trying to help ADOS. You'll have some people come up there and they'll say, well, why did they need it? Or, or you're successful, you got this, or you have a millionaire or a billionaire. What the fuck they got to do with the debt? So when I sit in these political arenas and we have these conversations now, this is why I'm very picky on who I bring around me on these kind of topics, because you got to ask, what is the true intention, or what is the stuff that they are providing, when they have these discussions, because they're going to look up your merit of your work. And so when you look at the Native American study, they had Supreme Court judges that are Native American that were pushing for it. They had lawyers that were pushing for it. They were taking their finances and siphoning it towards what they need, because you're asking the white man to fund proving that you are a descendant. That's You see what I'm saying? That's like
Yeah.
you trying to ask the system that they're trying to fight to help you fight that same system.
That's what I was saying earlier. The first
And,
thing I said that did the red was like, I don't believe the same person that took everything from you would then return a penny to you without bloodshed.
But they could never repay us everything.
No, they never are. They are never.
I say a penny, anything like any reparation bill.
So what happens is this, and this is why I don't debate, or this is why this is to the topic of YouTube versus reality. This is why I would tell a brother like Umar, stop arguing with them. Anybody that argues against your prerogative of what you're trying to get to. This is why I tell anybody that literally trying to defend ADOS or anything, and I'm saying, like, if once they
I think
say
ADOS is relevant though. I think it's relevant.
I know it is relevant. But if anything, I would be more ADOS than most people. Like, but I'm saying that when somebody says I don't agree or why should y'all have that, I just said that because I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time trying to doggone trying to get you to believe in something that I know I am. Like, I don't have to guess. Like, you would have to think. If I were to say to a white man, so let's not touch slavery. Let's touch Red Summer. What's Red Summer? I've never heard of that, D. Darrell. Then I'll be like, see, well, ask your granddaddy, why did they put that in the goddamn school history books? See what I'm saying? Because that would mean, oh shit, that means we have been fucking with y'all. We did knock off 2 decades or 2 generations of your people. See what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that to the history goes to spoil. To history, it's his story, not your story. It's going to be his story. Your story kept getting thrown off the goddamn in the goddamn field. You got to go out there and find the pages and put them together. So when we saw the play-by-play, that's why I always look at some people that, well, we fought the British rebellion and all that other stuff. And I said, yeah, you had to pay Great Britain back. I'm not talking. Why the fuck would I beat my enemy, but I got to pay them for beating them? What the hell kind of shit is that? So when I see people come over here and fight against Adolf Hitler, I'm like, well, we'll say thank you for civil rights. We gave you that. Say thank you for all these things that y'all get. Every minority in this country y'all get is because of black people. And that's not even a boast. That's just doggone flexing because.
So hold on. Before you continue that, that's all I was gonna ask D. Darrell. D. Darrell, let's say a reparation pass. Will you be opposed to, hypothetically speaking, Africans? Because you guys don't identify as Africans, you identify as Adolf. So let's say like a Nigerian, but he's a citizen of America. Would you be against him getting reparations as well?
Yes, I'm gonna be against him because that's not your lineage.
See, that's all. What
I would be for. Hold on. Let me finish.
If he get reparations off of D. Darrell,
no, let me get this because I've already been answered this question. This is the problem that I have with and I've had this discussion with multiple Nigerians.
And I'm not Nigerian, by the way, but yeah.
Huh? I'm
not Nigerian, by the way. I was just asking.
No. I was going to name some other countries too. I had this discussion with some Cameroonians, Nigerians, and I had this discussion with some people from Sierra Leone. The issue with that is that your set of circumstances in your as far as your historical issues are with the country that you are genetically linked to and the tribes that you come from. Your issues is going to be with France. Your issue is going to be the same. Wouldn't it be the same? No, it's not the same. It's not the same.
How is it the same?
It's not the same.
What you just said, that's the same.
No, it's not the same. No.
See, okay, but it goes that's like the civil rights. Like, you see, everybody notice that everything that we fought for the school, for the rights for education, for the rights to just doggone vote and everything. Notice now you're hearing people that didn't want to march with us saying brown people matter.
Okay.
Purple people matter. Oh, what the fuck were y'all at when we?
I'm not saying that reparations to reward the countries they came from. I'm saying if they're in America now, and they've been in America.
Yeah, but that's
Let's say
not your
they've been.
lineage. That's not your
Okay.
lineage, though.
Let's
You
say
don't
they've
have
been-
that lineage.
So hold on.
Go
Let
ahead.
me flip it around because I love this. So what you're saying is, if me, D. Durrell, and BMT
Mhm.
move to Nigeria and we're there for 20 years,
And you had
there
kids.
comes and we got kids. And we
Okay,
got kids.
Uh-huh.
There's a possibility to take all of Nigeria's resources just between our three families.
Countries do that all the time, though. Countries do that all the
No,
time.
I'm asking. I'm just asking a question. And then have your children work for us. That's okay.
But people do that
No,
today
no.
in America.
Stick with the
It
question.
is okay. It is okay. If it's a capitalism market,
I just wanted to know what the philosophy was. So your philosophy is it's kind of like what the Indians do to Africa now. They come over there, they have a baby on the soil, and next thing you know, they're the leaders of Africa.
But it happens, though. I'm not
I
denying
know,
that.
but
And that's the problem.
Wait, hold on, D-Rail. Hold on, D-Rail. But it only happens in Africa. It don't happen in no part of Europe. You can't do that. It don't happen in no part of Russia. You can't do it in China. Huh?
Some parts of Asia.
Well,
No,
you mean like South Asia, the dirt part of Asia that China controls. Well, but no, it's not really a country. China runs that. China, that's like saying Ireland is the country.
I'm saying Asia, like the whole continent, like it's different countries in Asia.
China now watch it. Now watch this.
Nobody does that to Asian countries.
Vietnam, yes.
Yeah, but look at
he's talking about the smaller locations that China controls.
But hold up. But now what? But
are you talking about like Thailand and Laos or something?
Yeah, those
like
places
that?
exist. Those
Cambodia
places,
or something?
Yeah,
but those
that's what he's talking
exist, though.
But
they're under China rule.
But here's the thing about it: when COVID hit, right? Let me show you how they flexed on them. When COVID hit, what did they do to all the dark-skinned people? What did they do to all the Africans when COVID hit? What did they do to all
in China? In China?
Just throughout Asia. What were they doing?
But no. The thing is, Asian people really don't like African people anyway. They already.
Hold on. But hold up. Just like what Mr. Research said, us three have been there for over 20 plus years. We have benefits. We have all that stuff. How was it the Asians were able just to walk in?
But you've been here all your life, and white people still hate you.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like us being there. They said you don't belong here.
White people say that to you now.
That have been paying taxes or whatever they've been paying to own that spot and just ripped out their land and all stuff. Do you know how crazy? You know, it's like watching the South Africans being
but
told.
But white people are doing this today, and to American black people today. So there's no difference.
Well, so hold on. Do we have that? Do I have that ADOS power backing me? Do I have that paperwork saying, yo, man, this is my granddaddy's land since goddamn 1800? Okay, so what? I got this fair and square at the county. No, motherfucker, you held my doggone granddaddy and family as shotgun and then made us run into the field. You didn't get it fair and square. Like, understand?
Yeah.
They call, how we got this land from the Native Americans, we got a fair and square. What the fuck? Tell that to the Native Americans.
Okay. BT just made a point, Savage, and I understand why you think what you think, but you know that a lot of Africans won their land back from the British people who took it. Do you think that the Africans should give the land back to the British people using your theory?
Okay. Well, the whole point of ADOS is African.
No. My question is the South African people who showed documentation that they owned the land before it was forcefully taken from them. Using your theory,
they owned the land before. Clarify that again. You said the British people owned the land before Africans was that happening?
No, the Africans owned the land before the Brits took it by force. This is before Mandela.
Okay.
Using your own mathematical theory that you laid out here for us, don't the British people own it? Because you said it happens all the time.
But don't they already own it?
No, they never owned it. They took it.
They never owned it. They should have never owned their land.
But hold on. I'm trying to clarify his point. So his point is the British people that stole the land, should they give the land back to Africans? You saying that?
No, the British people that stole the land,
Uh-huh.
the Africans showed that it was stolen and it was originally theirs. According to your theory of it happens all the time, shouldn't the British people get the land back from the Africans?
Wait, are you saying the Africans took the land back already, or what are you saying?
Yes, the Africans took the land back already through documentation.
So they did say no, they got reparations for the land, right? And they got it back.
No, they got their own land back.
Yeah,
that's why I was saying about reparations. Okay, so if they got their land back through like a legal judicial system, however they put it away.
No, through documentation.
So the white people gave it back to them. They just okayed it. They gave it back to them.
They had to by law.
So it was
because
legal.
they got
it was legal.
documentation.
That's what I'm saying. So it was a legal.
So my question is, they did own it though. Don't you think, according to your own theory, you just said to BMT to derail that the white people should get it back because they acquired it since they had been there so long?
That wasn't my theory. That wasn't my theory.
That
wasn't my theory.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet, y'all.
But that's why they say no. But I'm just saying, listen, in the grand scheme of things in the world, paperwork and deeds matter. This is why they say you're known by your father's name. You're known by. When people always ask, well, who's your daddy? They're asking that because they're trying to trace where is the lineage of where you come from. This is why that's the oldest rule in the book. Who's your daddy? Who family you from? That's the thing that you know. If you're in the South, they know they ask you that question. So when they ask who's your daddy, well, we the Durrells. Oh, you're the Durrells. Oh, y'all from that part of Mississippi? Yeah, I remember that church. That's your daddy's land. Yeah, what happened to that land? The goddamn county took that land away. Oh, but do y'all have the paper for it? You know, it's up for auction. Oh, we sure enough do have it. So now you can prove that it's yours. But see, what happens is this, and I found it interesting that the Africans were having to prove something that they were born on was their land from people that came there and have historically have proven to have taken and killed and slaughtered and said, well, we've been here too since the colonial days? Nigga, that means you stole it. You didn't just, hey, y'all get off this land. This is our land. It's fair. You can't find that somebody already inhabiting.
The thing is, with that logic, a lot of the land should be given back to the indigenous people. For example, Puerto Rico, like that argument doesn't make sense because if they fought for the land,
but we have to limit it. But hold on, brother, we can't move the goalposts on this. If we're going to have this discussion, we have to limit it to the experience of ADOS or African Americans. We can't go into stuff about Puerto Rico because we don't have.
Give you an example. I was giving you an example.
Huh?
I was just giving you an example about land.
But you can't give that example. See, that's the mistake that people get into when they deal with the circumstances of black people in America. They tend to want to create another scenario that is similar to our situation.
Okay, I'll say
situation doesn't have. Our situation is unique to just us. We don't have
and that's true.
History that is similar to any other people.
And again, I understand that Black Americans were perpetually enslaved. That's unique in all of history, all slavery. That is unique. Okay. That deserves some type of reparations.
Yes.
But who determines what generation of people get reparations? Because those slaves already died out. Those third generations.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what generation. Right. Trace your ancestry. If your ancestry has been directly back to those times, it don't matter what generation. See, the issue. I'm gonna go back to your first question.
But couldn't those ancestors been? Those ancestors came from Africa, though. So what about their bloodline from Africa? So their bloodline doesn't matter in Africa. None of this matter in Africa.
Yeah, it does. We're all from West Africa, but we don't know. But African Americans don't know what countries they come from. If you can look at my flag, that flag you see in my avatar, do you know the country that's in that flag? That flag
looks like Ghana. I don't know.
No. That's Burkina Faso.
Okay,
I
I don't know.
I trace my ancestry comes from Burkina Faso. Okay, the tribe that my ancestry. I trace my own ancestry. Most African Americans don't have the luxury of that history. Okay, see, you're looking at it, and I understand why you're looking at it from an indigenous African perspective.
But I'm not denying reparations, though. I wasn't denying.
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that you're looking at it from an indigenous African perspective. But if you look at it from that perspective, you're not looking at it from because you don't have a history. You don't have the history and the lineage of slavery, and also dealing with American politics. Okay, yeah. And so and I'm not saying you're wrong for thinking. I understand from that perspective, you're looking at it from a reality that is relegated to your experience, your culture, and so forth. I'm not trying to go against you in regards to that. That is your understanding. But what I'm trying to do is to help you understand that you're right. Our lineage comes from West Africa. My ancestry came from Burkina Faso. Okay, from Burkina Faso. My ancestors were in the East Coast. They were sold in the East Coast, and then they made way to Mississippi. And then from Mississippi, they were enslaved in the state of Mississippi for hundreds of years before some of us stole off and went to Louisiana. That's
the only reason I was asking you that, because it's just like in my mind, I'm thinking, are ADOS only using reparations because it's convenient? What if Burkino's was having reparations? Will you be entitled to those reparations?
I cannot be entitled to reparations from Burkina to France, because France pretty much controls Burkina Faso for the most part.
But you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, like, I hear what you're saying.
You're from there.
Listen, brother. Right. See, this is what I was trying. I know we had other people talking, and so when I was trying to tell you about whether or not being ADOS and Pan African, I think what most Pan Africans are not looking at is the fact that if any group of Black people, whether you're on the continent, Brazil, the Caribbean, or whatever, receives reparations, that can propel other Black people in the diaspora to also receive reparations. And that's see, most Pan-African supporters don't look at it from that perspective. So
I do look at it that way. I think you could be American descendant of slavery and also be a Pan-African. You just fighting for what your culture, your culture pretty much. So and then
yes. So if we're going to work together, if any group of African people were able to obtain reparations, it strengthens the ability for another group in another country to get the same thing.
That's fair.
And that's the way you should look at it. I don't want reparations trying to prove that I'm a Burkina dad citizen from France.
Will you accept it? So you don't want reparations from your actual bloodline?
I would not accept it. But you know what I would want from Burkina Faso?
What?
If I chose to have citizenship, and if you want African Americans to invest in Africa, need to give us citizenship.
That's kind of like picking and choosing, though. That's all.
How is it picking and choosing?
All right, for example, you know exactly where you're from, right? Even if you were sold off to a slave, whatever.
How do you know?
He just said he was sold to a slave. He said that out of his mouth.
But how do you know what country?
He just said that. That's
he did. Okay.
Yeah. I traced my ancestry. My ancestry.
He's saying, I'm not making up. I'm going.
Okay, he did. Okay.
Okay, so he knows he's from this ethnic background, this ethnic group over there. That's what your lineage started off with. That's your heritage. That's everything started off at.
Yes.
So when they get reparations, are you not then entitled to the reparations?
No, I'm not entitled. I'm not entitled to reparations that the Burkina dad would get from France.
But why?
Because my lineage my lineage,
Someone's echoing.
my lineage. Is that Mr. Research or that's me?
Yeah, it's good. That's good
Okay.
now.
All right, because my lineage doesn't go back to that. I've never lived in Burkina. I was never a Burkina Faso, but this was actually before Burkina Faso was even named Burkina Faso. It had their name changed like 4 times. It was Upper Volta, then it was something else that they called it. They called it whatever. I don't have my lineage is I'm looking at my lineage as far as being a descendant of slavery in America. Now,
so with that logic,
I was never my ancestry as far as nationality and so forth. I have no written record of anybody in my ancestry being a Burkina Dad citizen. I can't get those reparations. Matter of fact, I'm not entitled to that.
So with that same logic, what about the repatriation slaves that went over to Africa, and let's say they were slaves in America and they came back to America in the late 19th century, early 20th century America?
That was only relegated to Liberia.
So let's say those slaves, they was American slaves at first. Let's say it was American slaves all the way up to 1850. They took their family. They went to, let's say, England. They came back to America, right, around 1940, 1950. Would they be entitled to reparations even though they're still dual citizenship from England?
If these people have to, let's add the word suffrage. Because
you see what I'm saying, right? You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. Let's add the word suffrage, because this is what Jews get $500 million for. Okay, they are out of Poland. 1939. You look at Israel on a map; it's not as big as it is now. Okay, they are from Poland. They are not only getting Polish reparations; they're getting American reparations. And
that's why I was telling D. Darrell, why isn't he entitled to his?
Okay, I got you.
But here's the point. Yeah.
No, I got what you're saying, but here's the point. When it comes to lineage, what we try to do here in Black America, or just America in general, we tried several times to have our own in-house situations, tribe as you may be. People from the outside kept coming in to nip it away. Who
from outside? Who? You have names?
I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an example. Just like the Negro College Fund. That was people like me and D. Darrell giving back money to help other young Black dudes, Black American dudes, succeed in college. We start having other people with Black faces come over pretending. Keyword here is pretending. This is answering your question. Pretending to be part of that lineage suffrage.
How big was the problem? How big was the pretenders? How big was the problem of the pretenders? How big was it?
It was so big that it depleted majority of the funds back in, what was that, 1980, 89? They started asking for more. And you had a famous Indian make fun of how he manipulated the system. He's the brother of the Indian actress Mindy. He got a doctorate on it. He made fun of how he pretended to be African American, and he didn't really like those people.
Yep.
So that's why you're fighting for the study. That's why I see your side. You fighting for the study because of that reason alone.
We can get rid of all those discussions, all those extras. That way, your conversation with D. Darrell will or will not exist. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you just made an example though with the Israelites or the new, what you say, the Poland people. You just gave a dual
the people who are pretending to be Israel right now.
The Polish Jews, yeah.
But he just gave an example that it can be two people getting reparations. So
say again, sir.
My discussion isn't about people that are trying to pretend to be African. My discussion is people that are African. I'm not saying you like an Indian. Like
this is the issue you have to
understand. Even Africans, because Africans who manipulated the Negro College Fund never gave no money back into the system.
But do even Negroes get? Wait, so you saying every Negro get money back to the system? American Negroes?
No. I'm saying a percentage of Negroes give back into the system prior to 1980, 88, 89, because that's how it was for us as far as trying to take care of each other. And if you had that disposable money, you just went ahead and did that. Prince gave a whole bunch of money to black colleges and so on and so forth. It was just something that's part of us. We don't have the tribalism. I'm sorry, D. Durrell. I'm hogging the mic. I just want to make this point. We don't have the tribalism that Africa has. That's how the white man. No. I'm making a real. No, I'm making a real point here, because that's how the white man uses Africa. He gets Africans fighting against Africans.
Yeah, that is true.
That's why Arabs are the new Ku Klux Klan in Africa. That's why everybody except for Nigeria and Ghana is scared shitless of the Arabs and let them do what they want to, because the Arabs hate Africans.
What part of Arabs during the Ku Klux Klan? Because I know in like Ethiopia and Egypt, they're just regular people there.
Okay, Arabs are putting chains on people outside of Nigeria and Ghana. Am I correct?
They still are enslaving people. That is true.
Okay, so they're your enemy. They're the ones telling you they believe in Islam just like every other African Muslim, but in reality, that's just a ploy to put a chain around your neck.
Yeah.
Everybody was scared of Gaddafi until Gaddafi fell. And then the dude you play basketball with is now trying to sell you for $200. Let's be real about what this is. Africans sit up here, other than Nigeria and Ghana, they run. Oh, it's so much war. I'm from Cameroon. I can't take it. I'm going to run to Spain. Now Spain is complaining that they got too much prostitution and too much drugs. From who? Africans. This is a problem,
but you're African though. Like, you're not African. You're not one of the African countries.
I am African descended. I'm not African. But I think the point.
You are African. You're not like a citizen of any of the countries.
Yeah,
that's like saying a white man.
No, I'm not.
But you are. You're just not a citizen in any of the countries. You're an American citizen. But
that's true. That's true. Let me make this last point because I'm hogging it from D. Durrell. I think the strength of my point is this.
Okay.
When African Americans, and one of the guys was a famous shipbuilder, went over to Liberia before it was Liberia, and founded a place that nobody really wanted, not even the tribe people really wanted, right? And they offered the tribe people, this is documented too, it's a documented story. They offered the tribe people to help as they was building forts and whatnot. They didn't want to participate because, it was worthless land to them. They really didn't care. Once it started getting developed, and once the British wanted to have embargoes with them, all of a sudden the tribes people came out. And they start working together, Africans and African Americans, because they had one cause. So the grandson of the guy who had the idea to come down there and help Africans and also help his people and form this 1970, 71 was the first Liberian Civil War, because one native-born African decided he wanted to kill the president who was trying to help them because he felt it wasn't fast enough. That's what we're afraid of, that type of energy.
But that energy is here in America without any outside sources. It's always going to be coons regardless where you go.
I got that. I got that. But I guess my point. Go ahead.
No, only thing I was saying is, do you Adolf's people consider this history to only be around 500 years old? Like, your existence in the world only 500 years old.
No, that's not true. That is
because that's the point he's making. He's saying
to a degree, yes, because we don't have a flag.
See, so we don't have a true flag. He is saying yes. So that's what I was saying. He was
because we don't have a true flag. Because we don't have a true flag. That's why.
Go ahead,
D. Durrell.
What I wanted to allude is the fact that we understand from a historical point that we are from a long looking at it from a world history standpoint. We understand that we are genetically linked to Africa, particularly West Africa. But when you have to look at it from as far as it's the historical atrocities that occurred to us that led us to be who we are today, as far as nationality, culture, and so forth. We have to look at it from 400 or 500 years ago. Okay, because if there was no transatlantic slave trade, there would be no African American.
Do you think that? You think Africans they want to travel over there anyway?
If there was no transatlantic slave trade, I'd be in Africa just like everybody else. Like
you think Africans want to explore outside of Africa? You think Africans wouldn't explore outside of Africa?
They wouldn't have what?
Explore, like moved out of Africa.
Historically, Africans have always explored outside of Africa. They just didn't do it. They just didn't.
That's how you got different races of people.
Yeah, they just didn't do it in mass groups.
They did before. Like when there was like 6 different species of humans.
Level that Europeans did.
Okay.
That's what
the
I'm
technology
saying.
Wasn't there either. They didn't have boats and stuff like that. So
that's what I'm saying. It was not at the and then they wasn't attempting to colonize. Colonization was not something that they did because that's not how Africans think. But what I'm stating is that from a Pan-African standpoint, the strategy should be that we support all groups of people in the diaspora to receive reparations. If one group gets it, it enhances the likelihood that another group can get it. We shouldn't be looking at it as if everybody in the diaspora should be
entitled to that reparations. America
should be entitled to another nationality of black people in another country, and therefore you should get part of the reparations that they should get.
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not even saying the opposite.
So let's say the black people in Cuba, they get reparations from Cuba. I'm not entitled to that.
Yeah, because you're talking about a nationality. You're talking about a nationality standpoint.
But what I will do,
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, but what I will do,
American, people getting reparations.
But what I will say is this: I would support them in their quest to get it because I know that they're entitled. They just as entitled for reparations from their country as I am from the country I belong to. And even the fact, let's say Nigeria, or all of the countries on the Gold Coast of Africa. Okay. They all want reparations from Spain, Portugal, Britain, and so on. I would be there to support them in any way that I could so that they can get their reparations from those countries. But I'm in no means entitled to any of that money.
And I wasn't arguing that. The whole point I was making was the ADOS movement is like, for example, people that are already here, or let's say they already been here, like they are American citizens and they're already African. That's all I was saying. People that, hypothetically speaking, repatriated and moved back and then came back.
Yeah, but
that's all I was saying.
And you are right. They are African. They are African American by nationality and so forth. But the thing about it, your lineage does not trace back to being.
That's why I said repatriated. For example, African slaves did repatriate after slavery was over.
Yeah, but that was just a small. That was like a tiny minority of people that went to Liberia. What is Liberia?
So, for example, would the reparations be denied if they come back to America?
They would not be entitled to that because
you see the flaw in that argument. You see the flaw.
There's no flaw. There's no flaw in that because they were not in America. They went to Liberia. I'm
saying this. They were slaves in America. I'm saying the people that was. I'm saying the African slaves that was slaves in America, right? They was in cattle cart farms. They was slaves. Though once they was free, they left America, went to another country, right? They had families over there or whatever. They like for the same way you guys have families over here. Then they moved back because America is passing.
Let me answer this question. Did they suffer slavery for 250 years?
But you didn't either, though.
No. Answer it because see, that's what the study will say. Did they suffer slavery for 250 years?
I'm saying the
No. You have to. No. You have to answer. They
250
didn't.
years, sure. Yeah.
They
I'm
didn't.
I'm gonna say yeah to be consistent. I'm going to say
No.
to
But
be consistent.
historically, they didn't. They don't have the same genealogy. They
You didn't hear
don't
what I
have.
said. You didn't hear what I said. I said people once slavery was abolished, and then you was once Abraham Lincoln passed his little laws and whatnot. I said those Africans left America and went to another country, and then this year they came back because reparations was passed. And I asked you would they be entitled to it. You said no.
No, they wouldn't.
You don't understand what I'm saying?
What you're saying is something that didn't happen.
But it didn't happen. They repatriated.
No, it didn't. The slaves. Hold on, wait. Let's do a history correction. The slaves that went back, they were actually part of the Mende tribe.
And some other group of people that went back, bro.
Those people, the Mende tribe that was. You ever saw the movie Amistad that actually talked about the Mende tribe that was taken from the coast?
Yeah, but it wasn't wrong group of people.
Went back home. Those people went back.
What I'm saying is, it wasn't wrong group of people. All I was saying is, if you was a descendant of slavery in America, right? Let's say in 1800s. I mean, your whole family up till then were all slaves. And you took, let's say, 100 people, and you went to another country. You went to Sudan, right? But then now around 2020, you moved back over here expecting reparations. You just said they're not entitled to
it. They're not entitled to the same reparations that I would get. What they would be entitled to as a citizen of Liberia.
That makes no sense, bro.
No. Let me finish the statement. Let me finish. I'm gonna tell you how it does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is they are entitled to reparations. That would be
American reparations?
No, they're not entitled to American reparations. What they're entitled to is a set of separate reparations that America would have to give to Liberia. That's what they would be entitled to. They would have to fight for their reparations as a Liberian citizen, wanting reparations for what America did to those people that repatriated back to Africa. They would have a separate. They would have a separate set of circumstances. They are entitled to reparations, but they would not be. They would not be entitled to the same reparations as I would because they're not American.
Okay, I'm not talking about the Liberian people. I'm saying average African slaves. I'm not talking about the one Liberian.
Okay. Let me say this. Any group of Africans who were enslaved
in America.
Came to America. Hold on, let me say that came to America, and then they repatriated back. They were able to repatriate back to their country, a land of origin. They are entitled to reparations, but on the basis of a separate reparations with their country and how they were affected by America. It would not be the same reparations that I would receive. It would be something totally separate.
Let's compare apples to oranges. Let's get numbers here. So if your reparation is $100, right? I'm making it easy math. What would the reparation be, more or less?
I couldn't say what I don't know their experience. I'm giving you just wait. You want me to estimate? That is unfair for me to estimate what another group of people that went back what they feel that they should get. I'm not in a position to say what they would get. Just like they wouldn't be in a position to say what I should get.
But you're disidentifying with them, and they was the same African slaves that you were.
American circumstances was different. Their circumstances was different.
No, but
their circumstances was different because they had the privilege of going back home. We never had that privilege.
No, Diderot, that's the point you're missing. I'm saying they were slaves all the way up to 18 something, right? 1830, 1840. They then left America and went to another country, and then came back. I'm not saying
you're gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna say this, bro. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know of any any historical record that showed black people going back after being free from slavery, going back to Africa in masses. I know of black people that went back prior to slavery ending, but not after slavery ended. I don't know of any historical. BMT, do you know of any historical?
I'm not saying masses of people.
I don't know of any.
I said one person. I said one person. It can be
the only thing that we can account on history was going back to Liberia, and that's when Lincoln sent them back. And mind you, that was only a small portion that actually went back, but the others, the majority of ADOS or the African descendants of slaves, they all they knew, because you got to think all you were used to was this environment.
Yeah,
so
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that point, bro. Again, I understand what you guys are saying. All I'm saying is, how are they not entitled to the same reparations you are entitled to? And you personally didn't deal with slavery, and they didn't either. But they
I got you with that. Because like I said, I have these specific conversations with non-black people. And they said, well, you wasn't in slavery. I said, well, even if I didn't touch slavery.
No, you deserve reparation. I'm not saying that.
No, hold on. But I said, even if I did not touch slavery, I can still, throughout U.S. history, pull up patented devices that belong to black people, certain colleges that were built by black people that were never paid, companies that were engineered. A lot of American innovation was done by black people, and that's just innovation. Talking about redlining, mind you, that was specifically to keep the Negroes on their side of the town. Yeah. However, the whites will still come over to the Negro side and kill them off and take their stuff. Like, this is stuff that's historically been in the South. We can look at Red Summer, Jim Crow. How many churches have been burnt or killed off? Cases or lawsuits that have been thrown out because it's just a story. What's the story of a nigga versus the story of a white person who's been caught lying? Like, you would be over trillions on trillions of dollars. The U.S. will never be able to bounce back. Like, those types of damages of setting back, like, that's why I said, like, our specific struggle as ADOS people has literally curbed our progression almost to the point where I find it interesting when people say, what's your excuse of why y'all are not succeeding? Or y'all sound like
that's dumb. That's dumb.
And so, no, but this is the things that come up from different sides. And they'll say, well, y'all, we gave y'all this, we gave y'all that. Well, then I will say, well, how many times, if Diderot was my father, how many times did y'all take away his check, cut off his health benefits? How many times did y'all threaten my mama? How many, like, there's just so many things that it's not even like they hid it. They were just doing it just because they could do it. And they knew that there was no repercussion in the law. Well, the Constitution says that we're all people. Well, hold up. You did not view a slave as a piece
property.
So right. So when you said you wrote that paperwork, you can't use the Negro in the case because you did not view my people as people. Killing a Negro baby was being looked at as a scientific experiment. Killing a black man, it amazes me whenever their kids or their people do stuff. That's a child. That's an innocent. They didn't know better. Let our individual people do something. That's a man. That's a criminal. That's a predator. The wordplay is so staggeringly incredible on how people say that. They know what they do, and that's why I said I've been looking at it like, people know these things. That's why I said when we talk about the dynamic of the home and the welfare state, well, I said, well, how many times did you shut our fathers? You forced our dads to go to a war that they didn't give a damn about. Black men didn't give a shit about going to no Vietnam or no going to no goddamn any of these countries to fight no war that the white man wanted to go fight. We were forced to go do that. But then you come back and you say, get to the back of the bus, get to the back of the train, and you don't pay the black soldiers their doggone payment from the army. That's bullshit. And I am a soldier. There's plenty of documented stuff where they could take a black soldier out and shoot them, redline them, kill them, try out medical experiments on them. That's over $1 trillion that the federal government owes. What about the experimentation on black women's ovaries and vagina, or just their body? Y'all can think modern medicine might as well kiss the black man and black woman's ass, because most of the modern medicine that they found out about was testing on black people. So that when people say, well, what about the shot? Fuck the shot. Y'all would have to pay us for OBGYN, psychological damage, doing all the other kind of crazy shit. It amazed me that we haven't cracked or broke. So when they talk about the Great Depression, the reason why black people had an easier time, it was easier, but it was a lot more. It was just another Tuesday, because black people are always put in a depressive state. White people only always include us when they need the numbers. When they needed the numbers for the vote, they include the black man. When they need the numbers for goddamn a war, they need the black man. They only call you when they need you. Other than that, get the fuck out the way and go back to your shit. That's just human.
So how are it on a by getting reparations?
You know, BMT, you're definitely right. They only call the black man and woman as when they need to use you and abuse you like a pimp. And after they got what they want, they say, go back to that street corner and give me my money. You better get my fucking money.
So what are you guys what steps are you guys taking to get reparations? What steps are you guys taking?
Wait, Black Savage, are you the only person that's talking about reparations?
Am I the only person talking about reparations?
Yes.
I don't know what I mean. Me, Darrell, and BMT was just talking about it. Yeah.
Well, the question should be asked: what leverage you have to oppose your will for these people to give you reparations? That should be the number one question to ask.
But I'm asking you, like, what steps are you taking?
Well,
I know, obviously we have leverage. You just explained the leverage about what all the medical
and what's those leverage again? I didn't catch that.
He was just explaining about the medical a lot of inventions that was old. He was stolen. He was already like going down rabbit hole about everything that happened with black people.
Well, here's the leverage. Well, the thing about it is this: it costs money. It costs money and time to go to court.
Mm-hmm.
It costs money and time to go to court.
Money and who time? Who money and who time would it be?
It costs our money.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost our time.
And who's our representative?
Huh?
Who's our representative?
See, that's the thing about it. We've had representatives. Like you have Dr. Claude Anderson, for instance. Who's paying Dr. Claude Anderson? If I would ask somebody, who's paying Dr. Claude Anderson? Because most of the men and women that used to go down there, they're getting old and they're dying. That's a fact. Like majority of the people that are still alive,
mm-hmm.
that can fight, that legally and they have the legal, educational, and they also understand civil government and civil law and all that stuff in the studies.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting old. See, what the white man is playing is the waiting out game. If your father, who knows there's a lot of black people, we pass on the information through hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
We pass it on through.
Now was the television though. Now is internet.
Right. But so long as your daddy Black Savage is still alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knows everything about what goes on in the family. He knows about everything that goes on with the family. But when daddy's dead, how do you prove whose land that is if daddy's dead. You feel me? Because none of y'all went and said, Daddy, we got to take you down to the county office and get the paperwork. You feel me?
Mm.
We got to get the paperwork. And that's a problem that Black people, we have to start use. This is why when it goes to the LLCs or the paperwork, you have to leave a paper trail. So
Yeah,
if
that's for any
something
business though. That's just for proper business. You need a paper trail for everything.
but understand this. Your reparations is a business.
Yeah, that is true.
Reparation is a format of business that is old since the dawn of time, from kings and queens. That's why they always kept ledgers, because you keep a ledger to show the receipt of what was the notarized agreement between two groups. So when they talk about well, why I can do it. You can do it. You can run a business without the paperwork. But see, what's stopping Chaos from coming there? And he buys the property. But now let's say you have a booming business. Chaos can say, well, guess what? Your business, you need to pay me a certain share of property for you to keep that business. So technically, your business is under me. Whoa. What do you mean? And that's how a lot of Blacks have had their patent, their designs, their masters, their legacy stolen. Because
That
they
is
didn't
true.
have
That's
the
definitely
legends
true.
of ownership. Like, look at Lil Wayne. We can use Lil Wayne. And D-Darrell and I talked about it. He just now sold not just his masters, but Nicki and Drake's masters. So that means their children will never have ownership of something. The white man owns that. He owns 20 years of Lil Wayne's life. He owns Drake and Nicki. That, like I said, there's power. There's a reason why they always like to get you to sign the dotted line. Because they
Why
want
did Lil Wayne sell that again? Why did he sell it? For money?
Huh?
Just for the money?
Can you say what?
I said, why did Lil Wayne sell that? Just for the money?
D-Darrell, you want to answer that? Or Chaos, y'all want to answer that? Why of his masters and everything?
I have not really read into it.
I can answer that for you.
Yeah, but please give detail for those who are not familiar.
So Lil Wayne was forced to sell his masters because he getting ready to go to jail. And because he has to go to jail, he's not going to be able to make money for the next 10 years. And his estate is at risk from a financial standpoint and from a standpoint of taxation. So he was put in a position where, because he's getting ready to go to jail for like 10 years for that gun charge.
That's insane, by the way.
Huh?
That's insane, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, Lil Wayne, from an economic standpoint, is not doing as well as people think he is. Number one, Lil Wayne hadn't had a hit in like 6 years, and to be honest with you,
and that's reason because Birdman they were back.
And the thing about it, we have to understand, Cash Money he tried to sue Cash Money for 40-50 million. He only got 10 million of that. And to be honest with you,
that's
Universal. Yeah, but Universal paid that 10 million. Birdman, Cash Money didn't even pay it. They actually paid it for them.
Yeah. So
Lil Wayne is not balling like people think. Yeah, he has a lot of money, but as far as is his network what people think it is? No, it's not.
No.
One question before we get to D-Darrell. Listen, very point side note. That means he's going to do another. The first time he did time in jail was what? 2 years?
A year?
You sure it was a year? Anybody can verify? Okay, so now he's going to do longer.
He was for a year.
Okay, so now this is the second time he's going to do time jail. That tells me that that's now that's 2 strikes right now.
Yeah.
So that means one more you out of here. So by the time he leaves jail, he's going to potentially be actually financially broke. Completely.
Yeah. They've already got everything that they've already got. You gotta understand. This man in the height of his prime, that was his one shot for generational legacy. You understand? As men, we have only so much time to do what we need to do like that. He's not gonna be at the apex again to where he can just jump back up there. That's gone.
And that makes
He got children. He has like understand this. When you talk to a lot of these audiences, a lot of these people with this wealth, ask yourself, who amongst them are holistically investing in black?
None.
For black, by blacks.
None.
Okay, so but they'll invest in the white man. So does that money circulate in the black community, or does it circulate in the other communities?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you have that happening, you know what I'm saying? When they ask you, so what do you think about black on black? What do you think about black people in the police? Oh, I don't even know why they protest. Well, then fuck you then.
Mm-hmm.
Your masters already got you already hemmed up. They already got you crazy. So we can't. After a while, this is why I'm saying, like, when it comes to these things, understand, the only time that they like talking to these rappers is for politics. I don't need no damn rapper speaking about the woes of me. You always like rapping about being on the grind and in the underbelly slumps. They don't rap about brothers and sisters in school. They don't rap about ADOS. They don't rap about, none of us do. All they rap about is put out a narrative of our people in a downtrodden, disgusting behavior. To me, a lot of them are goddamn agents. A lot of them are agents.
Well,
that's all they rap about. It's just Black Savage is a brother out there with a strap. But they don't talk about him with a book in his hand. They don't talk about you Chaos running a family. They don't talk about D. Rel running a profession unless it's something dealing with dope or some type of drugs. You think other races or other cultures want that type of imagery?
But
why is it every time they're asking a rapper to go to the White House? They don't actually know Dr. Claude Anderson come to the White House. They're not asking for a doctor or a license thing. Unless they own you, they don't want you. They don't want to fuck with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why a lot of these shines and these goddamn coons be goddamn churning my stomach when I hear them talk. They don't represent me. Oh, I don't know why would a black man want to get married? What other race is saying that dumb shit? I don't know why. I said, so when y'all say that shit, so what's next, black man? What's your next play? When y'all hear these women talking about divesting, what other group of women are saying they gonna divest? Where y'all going?
Where they going? That's what I'm saying.
So you gotta understand, they like when y'all say y'all want to divest, but that means I don't have to pay you. They like when they hear a man say I'm not gonna build. But guess what that means? When you are dead, who's gonna challenge my word against your word? You dead. I ain't never seen a dead man win a court case. So guess what? But guess what? If you had a son or a daughter that could go there and that knew what happened, that knew the law of the land, guess what? They can go back as much as they want and challenge it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta understand, man. Like you're playing. You're not playing checkers with these people.
No, we're not playing chess with these people. We playing checkers.
They playing shoji. They playing mental. They playing the mental battle with y'all. And that's what I'm saying. Like I said, Tisha Campbell, Tisha Campbell from Martin, right?
Yeah, she was married to a dude that she walked off with $7. Yeah, what about her?
$7. Can you believe that? Dita wrote $7 to her name now.
But what she was married to this dude, right?
Right, but they are dead ass broke.
Yep.
All that money that those networks made off of them, they still are playing Martin. They're still using their image, their likeness. They're still using everything.
And they don't get no royalty check for that? Damn.
Nope. Listen.
Hey, but BMT, hold on. Let me calm down. It makes me wonder when they finally locked up Bill Cosby and said we're not gonna play none of your junk. The people that was part of Bill Cosby during that time and they stopped playing those TV shows, the people that were dependent on that check was cut off. And you see how the games they played. That's why when Bill said he was trying to get a network, because this route ain't gonna be sustainable.
Right.
And you know, here's the funny thing: when he did that pound cake speech, I gotta agree with Bill Cosby because black people understand you're playing a game of death with these people. If you're not playing in regards to the end game power, you're wasting your time. That's when you talk about, you know, you have to do better, this and that. He's been deliberately honest. They say this route we going, this ain't gonna be good in the long run. Look what they did to me. They have not only tried to get me bankrupt, but they're now trying to cut my money off altogether. And we see it time after time. People that said that these people are doing it big and all stuff. Look at this pandemic alone. A lot of artists are not eating this year because most of their money they make off tours. They'll make money off those little albums, those things they put on iTunes because they don't control that shit.
Right.
So it tells you who's really getting fucked. Let's be honest and clear. Understand this game that at the end of the day, you're getting fucked. Somebody's savaging, annihilating you sexually in the booty.
Chaos. Look at this. Just this year alone, you saw the RZA sell his masters. You saw.
I didn't know that.
Do you know how many platinum artists done sold their masters
this year?
This year, just year alone. You can go ahead and Google. There's over 20 artists. Actually, they asked a question. I think they asked a question with Kanye.
Can you pull it up? I need to see this. I'll do it. I'll do it if y'all don't want to do it.
Yeah, they sold it. Listen, you're gonna understand. There's power in your name.
Yeah,
that's why. Listen, a school like Dr. Umar's is a dangerous school because you're educating when you have knowledge and you can train up people that can combatively compete and fight that do not have to depend on that system that they made. Then guess what? If I don't have to call y'all to do plumbing, I can teach Chaos and his sons how to do plumbing. Guess what? I just market it where, guess what? We only have to deal with Chaos, our own. See, they hate that. Whenever you hear the Negro talking about going off and doing his own thing by himself, for himself, that's a dangerous thing.
It is.
But they always ask, hey, where you going? You're an American. Oh, now I'm an American. But when it comes to it, y'all would say it's not American on American crime, it's black on black crime. See, you see how they change it up? Well, what about Chicago? What about Louisiana? Well, shit, what about Ohio, damn it? Y'all motherfuckers doing serial killing murders. What about Texas? So whenever they throw that to me, I'm quick with the cunning linguist rebuttals. When you bring me up, make sure y'all talk about y'all Becky's doing these mass killings. Make sure you talk about your brand doing. See, they don't like to talk about their dirt. They like to talk, well, we all people. We all the same race. If we all the same race, then fuck you, pay me then. Pay this portion of the race their due.
Facts. Well, it's all babble.
They won't do that. Like I said, that's why I said, again, if the brother had a school, where he could put trades, psychological things, different stuff I was looking at that he wanted in the school. That's literally a marketer. And I've had my times where I don't always agree with Umar, but I understand the purpose of Umar's school and what he's trying to do. But then you'll have the people saying that if he succeeds in doing this, that means he don't have to fuck with us. That means he don't have to deal with us. And that's dangerous. That's why I thought I'd be like, yo, bro, sometimes y'all we gotta just shut our mouth and just don't say nothing, move in silence. You know? That's why you gotta understand. They like
that deal, part of that deal of Lil Wayne selling his masters. You know, he also owned Nicki Minaj and Drake albums with Cash Money. He sold those rights too.
Yep.
Oh God! I mean, Nicki. Well, we already know Nicki. Obviously, the only relevance is she on tours. She don't really own shit. So her saying that she's starting a family, that's kind of good. But hope she saved portion of money because if she come back in this game, there's nothing really left.
Well, see, that's the thing about it. How would you feel that IBMT and we content creators, I sold the rights to y'all content off to another group, but now y'all can't get nothing off of that. Y'all would be pissed.
Yeah, of course.
Y'all be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
For $100 million, as much awards as Drake gets, as much greatest hits that man get, that man cannot own his shit now.
Wow, I thought he signed away with Cash Money that he got after it was the issue with how you got around that.
OVO, he owns stuff, but he just left Cash Money about what back in
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
He only been on his own for like 3-4 years.
Yeah,
but most of his
best
purchase was owned by Cash Money.
Right,
yeah, and that's the problem because now on his own accords, he might be all right, but really most of his real work was 10 years ago. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So now that he's on his own, the only way I look at it is this: if he's not really understanding the business side of things, I mean, he'll make some money, but it's not gonna be as great, to be honest with you, because you have to think business overall. I don't think Drake is up there as a businessman like that. Because think about it, I'm in here a whole bunch of these artists, and I'm gonna Google it and put up for y'all to look at it personally. But when we look at the people that really has some form of wealth, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, I don't hear no issues from them yet. Well, this. So out of all the top artists,
yeah, but Jay-Z talking about selling his rights too.
That means, well, I'll say this. Listen to me good, D-Durrell. If they're selling, that means something they know that they have to do it.
But the only person I probably say the latest person, and I know they clown him, was Russell Sierra's husband.
Yeah.
He took his money and he bought his wife's masters and gave it to her. And a lot of people are like, what's the big deal? I said, oh no, nigga, that was a big deal.
Oh, then he's smart. He's smart.
He bought his wife her masters. In other words, he got her
You mean the masters from the Goodies album to now?
All her masters.
Then she's good. Then she's gonna be good.
So
be good.
Anytime they play her samples, her music, and she doesn't have to break that check with any Universal or any Sony. She don't have to talk, there is no middleman. She is just that man. She's that person. That means that money goes directly straight to her.
Mm-hmm.
See, you got when you look at it, and mind you, somebody put something interesting in the chat. Why didn't Wayne contact Nicki and Drake and say, hey, listen, I'm falling on hard times, but if it's okay with y'all, I would like to offer y'all a chance. Maybe y'all can't pay me all at one time, because a lot of them, they showcase that they got money, but they really don't have money. But maybe if y'all would y'all like to buy your masters? In other words, would you like to buy your freedom? Why didn't Wayne? This is how I know. This is why I know.
Oh, yeah, why he didn't? Because he's selfish. That's why.
But would that not have made sense if I work with D-Durrell and we got a little bit of business going, but we have some hard times. Instead of me just sell it out, I could have said, hey, D, tell you what, man, you don't have to pay me all at one time, but would you like to buy the ownership of the business? White people do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They do that all the time. If the husband know he can't run it, you know what he do? He go ahead and say, hey, baby, wife, I'm going to send it up on auction, but I'm going to have it where you buy it. So it never leaves outside the family. It never believe it or not, like Monopoly, most brands and most like detergents and stuff, Mark Parker and Bradley and all that stuff, you know, that's all one company. That's all one family company.
Mm-hmm.
And people think that Tide, Gain, Downy, and they're all competitors. They're not competitors. They're all the same company.
Yeah.
They're all owned by one family.
Yeah.
It's just that different children are running the same company. Y'all gotta understand, y'all playing against an enemy that literally knows how to submarket. But see, we don't work together. We rather attack those. We rather attack those that are professionals. That's why I said this is why some people don't battle the Arsenal fight. I argue fight. You argue with a professional like D. Durrell and say you don't know what you're talking about. How the hell the man that's a doctor that literally go to school for the goddamn thing? You gonna tell him you don't know? But you got somebody that damn it, he got a failed goddamn lifestyle where he a master of his own fate. Come on, man. I can't with this goddamn Park Apices. So you're gonna keep seeing this kind of behavior time and time again. You got people with failed relationships, failed household, failed children, failed lifestyle, telling you how to be a functional person. You see more people do shows that hit in the thousands.
Oh damn, BOT went out.
Why do black people need reparations? Y'all sound like y'all complaining. But hold up now. Every year, them little hat people don't mind going up and collecting that check at the county office. Them Native Americans don't mind collecting their check. Every other group don't mind going up there. They'll say you are being a victim, black man. You're playing a victim card. But then they'll praise Trump was sticking up for Israel. Well, shit. Why are we sticking up for them and they getting a check? Nigga, stand on your own.
Yeah.
Stand on your own. Shit. Go do your own damn thing. This is why I don't understand. This is why I don't understand this kind of talking points of a lot of these people, man. A lot of these men talking about that they want to be treated equally under the eyes of the fucking law, and they keep talking about the 1950s of running the home chaos. But when they talk of that same jibber jabber, I'm like, well, shit. You just said, F your woman. We don't want nothing to do with her, but you want to go to another country. How are you going to go to another culture and run another culture that's run by another man?
Man,
Let
you
that
have to
sit in.
explain. Yeah, you have to explain that to them niggas. BNT. That's why when I hear about these people, especially our people talking about they're saving themselves, and man and woman, especially men. My biggest question: where are you going to save yourself? Because wherever you go, if we're not in the rulership or power, you're going to be in another person's territory in their rules and order.
Right.
I think let's keep it real honest. Subjugation. You're being somebody else's subjugated in another area, in another environment. That's pretty much it.
But see, and that's the thing about it. Why when we had the conversation about those who are coming here, like the Nigerian coming here, and he says, "Well, chaos, you're getting reparations, so I should be able to go up there and get reparations also." Well, for what? Why are you getting reparations? Wait. Are you tapping into my check? Well, yeah. I mean, we have slavery too. What the fuck that got to do with me? What does that have to do with me? No. You go do your own case study. You go get your woman. Hell, what the hell are you asking America for? I mean, get it. I mean, what are you asking the other? Go take it up with your government. I have to stay here and fight for my shit every day. Hell, my ass get blasted on the street in front of the news. They're gonna vilify my ass 9 ways to 1 before they even look for the goddamn story. That's why I'm saying when you're dealing with these types of behavior and these talking points, you got to ask yourself the question: Black people, what are you truly fighting for? This is why I said this YouTube babble shit. These people don't know what the hell they're saying.
No,
they don't. But see, if you was in control of your own narrative, of your own imagery, guess what? Colorism, you could control the talking points of colorism, because guess what? I will do my own network show. Well, guess what? I don't mind putting a black woman or dark skinned man as the center stage. You could do your own narratives. You could do see, but whenever we do stuff, it's not as good. It's not good enough unless you shuck and jive. Listen, no. Now that Tyler Perry, I'm just going to use it for instance. Tyler Perry was making great money when he was doing plays for black people. When he signed on to Fox, mind you, Fox had him signed. All of a sudden, it was all the plays became about abuse, sexualization, the downtroddenness of black men, this and that, the black woman, this and that. And I'm like, well, damn, the stories are all the same. See, white people love seeing a black man in a dress, dancing and doing all the stereotypical Angie Mama shit.
Yeah.
And and they were like, I had a white man say, "Well, you like that Tyler Perry stuff, right?" I said, "Nigga," I said, "White boy, does it look like I get in a dress?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, that's the case. And when are y'all coming out with Mrs. Doubtfire 2?
Never.
Okay,
Never.
but you want? Go ahead.
If she mentioned about Mrs. Doubtfire, before all these black men started wearing dresses, I think when Martin came out in 1990. No, I think he ended in 1993. But during that time, I know Martin was wearing dresses at that time. And when the white men wear a dress back in 1992, Mrs. Doubtfire, I'm not sure how much notoriety it gotten, but you will never see another movie like that again. Because they know the psychology to see a man being effeminized. But it's natural to see a black man feminized because it not only makes money, but it's something that non-black men love to see. Matter of fact, I'll be honest with you. A lot of non-black men fantasize see black men in a skirt. Because that's what they like. They like that boy on boy love.
But see, when they do that, when you gotta understand, man, it has been such a long time since we've seen the black man control his narrative of what he wants to be the imagery of black success. And see that this is why I don't give a shit what the white man do. I don't give a shit about what the Indian do. I don't care about what the goddamn Chinese, the Asian man, the goddamn Hispanic, the Latin. I don't give a shit about what none of them men do. I'm a black man. The fuck I give a shit what they doing. I'm trying to worry about getting my bag. So when I see somebody start saying that, I mean, mind you, that's your choice. That's your choice. I know those are the best ringing. I know those are the best watch videos and shows where they show a black woman carrying her Negro Afro baby into a car, and the white man opened up the door. Get on in, baby. I said, ain't that a bit? Damn, what the hell? How the hell you got a whole black baby with damn curly ass hair, and the white man saying, "Get on in, baby"? I said, ain't that a bit? I mean, y'all do what y'all do, but understand this. Like I said, when y'all like to do the swerve and all the shit, see, that white man has no problem telling your baby you black. But daddy, what about? And I'm like, no, you a nigga.
You're a nigga. Yeah.
You a nigga. Don't ever forget that. And you can actually be the real, but he done a lot of talk with these goddamn swirling mixed babies. And y'all know me and him had a debate. Me, him, and Fate.
Yeah.
We had a debate. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, these mixed kids, they don't get treated like their hierarchy counterpart. Do they need a room? No, they don't.
Hell no.
Absolutely not, man. Because they let them know and let them show that you stay in your place, nigga. You're a nigga. We deal with that one drop rule because at the end of the day, if people understand the one drop rule is to separate the resource. You get me? If you come from any Negro stock from a first time mix, yeah, you with these niggas. You get me? That's when you look at a lot of people, mixed people that either love it, hate themselves. They want to completely erase that. That's why they'll find anything white that will at least take them and they'll play the game just to procreate so they can go one more or let's say extra generation so they could become completely white. Because they know the game it is that they're going to be looked and viewed as Negro. Regardless how racially ambiguous they'll look or they might be half passing for white, as long as they got that Negro blood and they find out that your parent is black, one of them, you only go so far of hiding.
Now, Chaos. So let's do the synopsis of that. This is why but I listened to everything I was saying. We were talking about the mixed child being considered. See, the schools that were built back in the day, they weren't built for your black ass. They weren't built for you. They were built for that mixed baby. See, as much as mom and daddy, they like making them goddamn old 1940 movies I fell in love with a slave and we ran down the field, cotton field, barefoot and shit to get away from oppression. But see, when it came time for to go into school, hold on, come in, Chaos. No, I get that you came, I squirted you out and your mama, but you can't go to school with your cousins. Why not, Daddy? Listen, it ain't no secret, dog. You don't look like them. They know you're not one of them. So I'm gonna have to make a school called a HBCU for you black people. We got to put y'all in a school because I don't want. I can't put you in school with the white kids. You ain't gonna show me the school that listen. You, like I said, that's why some mixed people, if they can pass for white, they will take that card for the most part. They take that card. That's why you got that dumb broad mulatto. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you can't pay these park apes to say this dumb shit. Going to DJ Vlad saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna go use mulatto," and then the white man said, "Isn't that a racist term?" It is, but I'm gonna take it back. How you gonna take it back, you dumb bitch? How you gonna take that back? I don't ever hear a Jew saying, "I'm gonna take back the Holocaust." Yeah, I'm gonna empower that. You dumb motherfucker. That's why these people be looking at us crazy. Well, I don't even know why we allow these people to talk. I feel like there should be a fine whenever they say something so stupid. We just gotta just say, yo, you canceled. You canceled. But there has to be a certain level of stupidity that is unheard of. You understand it? Miley Cyrus did not mind coming around black people, twerking, dancing, doing all that coochie shit. But the minute she said, "Oh snap, I'm losing my stocks and my marketing," Disney don't want to touch me anymore. They take it off Hannah Montana, off of Disney Channel, because she became unmarketable. So you know what she went back to doing? Turn on that goddamn Kanye shit, put on them cowboy boots. All of a sudden, hey girlfriend Molly, that girl did not know who the fuck y'all niggas were. She
listen,
because
it
made her billions of dollars again.
Listen, we all know, and it's good for you to mention that because it tells you who is the boss, who's really paying your bills, and that's why I tell you, most black men don't understand, and women, that he who pays really do rule. Look at the white community. That's a good example. Kamala Harris was really hardcore, acting like a Negro, until they saw that and said, "Wait, this thing's making me lose money. You were supposed to be dainty, like a young girl, knowing she's almost 30. You better change it, or I'm gonna cancel you, cut you off." So obviously, she has to. You get me?
Now,
I want to say mulatto to Sissy mentioned her. She is going to change her name again. You get me? After so much backlash.
Yeah. She got a lot of backlash, but all the black people say, "You dumb as fuck. You think you gonna come around us and do shows in Atlanta and call yourself mulatto and try to sell it off to black people?" Like they look at her like, "You dumb as fuck. You think you gonna come around us and say that dumb shit? You don't have no shame." I hope to God they were calling her dumb ass dad. I would have slapped my child upside the head. "You dumb motherfucker. You got me looking crazy as hell. You go around calling yourself that shit, knowing I'm a black man." But see, the mama didn't mind that shit. "Oh, isn't that cute? My little Negro baby walking around saying that dumb shit, ain't talking with no damn sense." Like you gotta understand the same thing with Cardi B. Her little dumb kooky ass call my baby culture. It's like they don't mind openly making fun of us. I'm naming my baby culture. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's like, yo, this is why I said you can't take these people from these narratives in these industries serious. You can't take these people when they talking about family or something. That's why I said there's a difference between when you're talking about when I have a serious conversation about politics and power and strategy, or when D. Darrell's talking about these stuff and we're trying to identify these things, or I've seen your shows when you're talking about financing and investment and literally dealing with these things of history for black people. I'm like, okay, so we have these talks, but the more serious talk is talking about these hoes out here are singing about WAP. No offense, but most of the black women I know run around singing WAP. They weren't running around singing that shit. They weren't. But see, a certain class, and yes, we do have a class of them that do that, but that's not the majority. We have a certain group of them that act like that. Do you see the Latin culture claiming Cardi B when she was talking about being a hoe in the house? They didn't claim that, bro. They weren't trying to put on Netflix and shit.
Listen. She was about to go her way and divorce Offset, and you know how their family had to slap her in the back of her head about say, "You about to what?" Because she already disgraced already. And you know most people that's in Latin culture not gonna sit through this divorce just like that. You get me? Because they really take serious about family to a degree. You get me? And for her to act the way she does and then go that route, oh yeah, she got some heat. That's why you don't hear much talk about it. You ever notice that?
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's no secret. A lot of the blacks that are fighting for us, they get shamed, they get attacked, they get berated. I didn't have a problem when Ice Cube said, "I don't give a fuck about no Republicans or Democrats. Y'all, none of y'all give a fuck about us." Oh, don't say that, Ice Cube. Was he lying? Did he lie?
Man, he got pushback. He got pushback from the women that he was on that panel. Trying to say, well, you got rearranging for us. Hold on, this man's talking about everybody. Aren't you black people? But look how this goes, BMT. This is how we're divided. When we know that when the genders start dividing themselves amongst the whole collective black people, it is scary, bro.
It is scary. That's why I be saying, like, that's why I be trying to tell people, like, listen, when people say they divest, I'm the first person to go grab your bag to throw that shit out the house. I'm like, all right, bye, nigga, bye. When you say you're ready to go, listen. I am the first one to grab your bags and throw you out. But I know one thing: when you fuck up, and you gotta understand. See, that's why I say black people, we too fucking forgiving. Because we too goddamn forgiving. When people fuck up or do all kind of shit, they all of a sudden know how to call us back. They know how to somehow, hey, can I come back to the table? Fuck you. No, you out.
Hang up, click.
Hang up, click.
I would have clicked. Say what?
Talk to your new clan. But see, they don't have no problem throwing your ass the fuck out. They don't have no problem doing that. But they, sure enough, when they get some type of injustice like Diamond and Silk, they little punk asses. Oh my God, the systematic shit is real. No shit, motherfucker. We go to that. You do that. But I understand. You on that hustle. Brandon Tatum, little dumb, goofy ass. Fuck you, Tatum. Like you got these motherfuckers that you got people in these spaces, men and women. There's a reason why Nat Turner just say, fuck it. I'm not gonna, listen. I gotta fight that white man. But let me take care of the first thing first. I gotta kill off this goddamn agent that's among the ranks. So when
that's what Destiny, JV Destiny did. I don't know if you're Haitian descent, BMT, but what do you think he did before they start their revolt? They had to get rid of these soft dudes that will easily start turn quick.
Because see, the thing about it is this. This is how you start to know. And this is why I rock heavy with D Darrell. We don't always agree, but one thing I don't have to worry about D Darrell turning on his own people like that. And though Lord knows, when we have these political conversations on these things, he gets very passionate. We can't lose our cool. We know they're gonna say some shit crazy to us. But guess what? It don't be the white man saying the crazy shit to us. It be the black man saying the craziest shit to us. That's the shit I've been blowing my mind. When we remember that one debate that we did when on X channel. Now these dudes are supposed to be for the benefit of black men, and they asked us, "Well, what do you, D Darrell? What do you, BMT, start doing that?" Boy, I thought we were calling out scriptures as much stuff as we were naming off. But Lord, no, D, what happened to the other team? We asked them what they do for black people. What they say?
Wow. Gary Little, talking about, I just take care of my family. That's my contribution.
But they'll call themselves the high value in the community.
Nah.
But the brother that does for his community and for his people, he is the problem. That's how you know. That's how I said, man. You can only get it in these spaces around these type of people, man. Like this is why I stare at people, I listen to their talking points, and y'all be seeing me like, okay, I'm done. It's a 2021. You're gonna see. You're gonna watch.
You're right about that.
But D Darrell, because I kind of cut you off earlier about you were saying some about these masters. I don't know if anybody. I was trying to pull up. I'll Google it. I'm not sure what I'm finding in the Google search engine on it. I can't find nothing on the many artists that sold their masters this year. It's kind of hard to find a search engine, but
yeah,
anybody
you gotta.
Let's get yeah. Go ahead.
You probably have to look up certain people to see because it's not showing a list of people. It's not showing a list of people at all. I don't know the reason, but it's not. You may have to look up a specific person. At least that's what I'm gathering.
But this is the early part of the discussion because I tuned in pretty late. You know me, I'm on my little call-in show. So me coming in like halfway, or actually more than halfway during the stream, y'all would talk about a bunch of stuff, and y'all mentioned about the reparation part of things, and Black people should still fight. There is an article I think from Dr. Farady's book. What the book called is from Heritage Equality Reparation for Black Americans in the 21st Century. He did talk about HR 40. I'm not sure if you heard about that.
H what?
HR 40 bill that was presented back in the early.
HR 40. Yeah.
And it makes more. They had this bill for over 30 some years, or close to 30 years.
And they shot it down almost every year.
But it goes back to what I said before. Black people, especially Black men, you do need some form of leverage. Money is not actual leverage. You need some actual leverage. Now, how they go about it? If I can remember, I remember a couple of gentlemen that I talked to had like a great fault in the plan that Black men should follow. They should probably look at that, examine that. That might be a potential way of starting a leverage. But besides what Black people do right now, really, truly, to be honest with you, a lot of Black people in America don't really have leverage right now at this point, bro. You know, and it's shown every year, even to the political game, that was not Black people that got these people in office. Hope you're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder the things that was written out and placed for actual real repair for Black people is going to continue to get shot down as long and will continue until Black people do something different to make these people give them what they want overall. Because to be honest, to really get something, you gotta have leverage. And right now, if we don't have the leverage, you to talk about reparation at this point, it sounds good, it sounds nice, but it's gonna be a pipe dream in the coming years. And they say that the wealth of Black people is going to pretty much whittle down within another couple decades. Not saying that Black people in America will be completely broke, but in regards to really have some sustainability in this country, is slipping very far. You get me?
Yeah, that's only an estimate. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's what they want.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That when they said it's projecting this in 30 years from now, when I think about, I said, well, everybody as Blacks gonna be completely like broke, like they're gonna have no wealth. Some Black people gonna have something, but as the greater collective, possibly no. So when they say that, I don't believe that every Black person in America is gonna be, financially bankrupt, or they're not gonna be no wealth. I just don't really believe that, because there are ways to get some wealth here, but Black people gotta really get their act together and take action very now and as soon as possible. You get me? Because one thing, you gotta have numbers to dictate this land, and if we are either growing or declining in numbers, is not going to be in our favor. You get me? Because this country is continuing importing white people. You get me?
Yeah.
And they import really because they're trying to keep the numbers up because they're not really having children like that.
Yeah, white people not. White people have a negative birth rate.
Thing, you go out to mix in somebody that looks white enough to mix in with the pool. You get me?
Yeah.
So you need some form of what they call black DNA, some portion, just to sustain yourself, survive. And if you have less than 50%, you're not gonna be around long. You get me? And they already knew this decades ago, you know. So they're gonna be promoting more miscegenation with our community, and they're gonna import more people, some mostly more non-black, partake Hispanic communities here to interbreed, so they could keep adding on to numbers, you know, to a very much unstable population, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, white people have a negative birth rate.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for the last 20 years. So I mean, actually,
I think it's longer than that. Probably for last
it's been like 30 plus years. So white people have, and it's not only just in the United States; it's throughout the world. That's the single biggest problem that white people have. They're not reproducing.
Well, I would say for the last 30 years across the whole world, yeah, that would make more sense. But here in America, it was really started to go downhill during the early parts of the 20th century. You get me? Yeah. Because if we really look at it, they've been talking about this for almost 100 years. You get me? So
exactly.
they already know the writings on the wall for them. So the only thing they could do is to keep, you know, prolonging their so-called what they call genetic demise. So you know that's why they're promoting the interracial dating so much. Yes, they are me, but they promoting it for both black man, black woman. They already got the men covered, so now next is the women. I mean, if you see some of these divestment channels, and I'm not sure if I told you this, D. Darrell, I've been watching from other channels with particularly young women, some maybe touching their 30s or mid 30s or under 30s. These young girls, bro, I'm telling you, man, they get the information from these so-called level up and divestment channels, and they are very much miseducated, bro. It's just sad. Very sad. I mean, some of them, when they ask them real tangible questions, what's the peak value of a man? Some of them give an answer at 20-something years old. I mean, I just step back and laugh to this, that what are y'all learning from these level up channels? Oh, I forgot. That is teaching you fuckery. Because you can't be a young girl that's 13 years old and become somewhat of an adult, and all you've been watching for the last 7 years is this garbage. But this is our fault as black man, black woman on YouTube. We're not using this resource properly, bro. How the hell are young people are being more misguided? Even some of the young black men that come listen to the space of the master, right? They listen to these red pill, these blue pills, these drug pills. You know, these pills that you take, these prescription pills you take from the counter, and you say you're digesting it for your breaking out of the matrix into reality and all this nonsense. A lot of them, I remember on one particular panel was talking about black people, and he got his rhetoric from listening to the men on YouTube. And he's only a teenager, bro.
Yeah.
So at times, I look back at some of the videos I did, and I say, you know, are they good for the better? Possibly, but you know, I might not even play this game no more with the beast and try to put out some material long term, because I think putting certain titles, I'm thinking deliberate that the algorithm is potentially pushing what I do, what they want throughout their YouTube circuit outlets. You get me? If I was putting things like the interview we had before on homosexuality, yeah, it got some good views. But let's say didn't know you and I talked about just on it alone, it would not got no notice, bro. You get me? And I've been talking about homosexuality for years now, Blog Talk Radio and other outlets before I came to channel YouTube videos personally, or you know, uploads. but it tells
Yeah.
me how much certain education. And mind you, remedies alone for that situation is very important. You know, damn well it's not gonna get an audience because think about this. Just the title alone, it will be sucked up by the algorithm and will put out in certain spaces. It might even be hidden for a search engine because if you type it up, it will not come up as a top search engine. It will come up as you got to scroll all the way down. You get me?
Yeah.
Because that's how they work. They don't want certain information to be present, for people that really need it. You get me? And I know most black men, black women don't want to live this lifestyle. They want actual remedies. But where can they find actual information to begin the process of healing? Nowhere.
Right.
They have to find a certain channel that talks about and a person that gives you simple instructions how to go by how to cope with it. And eventually, let's say they take your information cold-hearted for base. Now they're gonna go out the way and search you through the search engine and try to get in contact with you. That will be an A+ for you. But like I always do, Google Politics, YouTube will try to possibly hid that information.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know saying I made an environment for you to flourish in your degeneracy. I can't afford you to get or find ways to get out of this degeneracy that I'm now pushing in the educational system. Need I say more that the school system is teaching homosexuality? That's my check. And I've been hearing about this information for years now. If I ask any person, if you work in the education system, they'll vouch and tell me that they are teaching this. Am I right?
Yeah.
So why are you teaching something sex education to kids that's not even teenagers or at the stage of life where they potentially could have sex? Why are you teaching this at 0 or under 10 now? Because they're promoting it. A child doesn't know enough about sex unless he's been enticed or taught it. That's my check.
True.
Everything we do today is a learned behavior. So why are you enticing? Oh, I see why. Because most of the babies might be touched right now, and the best way to make what they're doing okay, you teach it in education of academia. And I'm being dead honest, bro. This is why we need our own school systems that we control what our babies are thinking and learning. Period. All the problems we face, especially competing, is all solely based because we are being educated under their structural system, their order. You cannot come out of oppression and you're still being taught by them. It does not work like that. Amos Wilson been telling us this decades ago. While we're not still learning this now, the problems we face in the black community is that our minds are gone. Our minds have been compromised from 6 years old to adulthood. We can't do business with each other. We can't get far education. We don't even seek to how to get in certain fields because we don't control the educational system. There should be no way in hell black boys today in the 21st century should do bad in education. They should be progressing just to have a shot to deal with this new environment we're in. But when we hear about there being more regressive, if you can't read or do math at a basic level, how the hell are you going to do technology? I mean, some of them could code a little bit, but still you need to know the fundamentals. And if you can't do none of that, it's going to be hard for you to survive. You get me?
Right.
Man, I'm surprised why more students or boys not even dropping out more now in this day and age, bro. Because they got things like the Common Core. They got these new type of ways of teaching children that's backwards. I think what they call with the Common Core education, where they teach you how to solve a simple equation. It takes longer steps just to get an answer for one multiplication equation. While the old-fashioned way, how you go around to solve it, takes less time, less effort. So why are we going around extra hoops to solve one equation? I tell you why. Because it makes you tired. It's drawing you out. It's making you look at the material as boring more. You get me? So yeah.
Okay.
It's getting real out here, man. I mean, I don't know what to do. Somebody write in the comment section. Can you catch? I mean, one woman said, I'm 24. Most of my friends around that age or younger, and we don't do divestment. I speak to other groups around my age as well who would not divest. So I don't think it's widespread as you think. Well, that's good. I'm not
It's
sure what
really
state
not.
you're from. What state you're from, Miami? And she wrote another question. It's better to have sex education lower the rate of teenage birth rates. Sure, a little older would be better, but everything from music to movies involves sex and sort. Well, to be honest with Mimi, the birth rate in America, or the age when women start giving birth for the very first time, is actually now in their late 20s, roughly 26.6. How I know? Because I did a stream on this, and I just Google it, and they already showed the rate of the first-time mothers. Now America is 26.6. It's no longer 17.8 or 9, almost 20 years ago, or 15, 16 years ago. Women are waiting later now to have children. Can you agree, vouch on this?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Women, teen pregnancy is down substantially.
It's actually teen pregnancy is obsolete now, because if you go to high school now, the average high school, you very lucky to find anyone getting knocked up before they finish high school. You might, it depends on the size of the graduating class. You might find maybe one. And I say one, I'm just being nice because I'm not in every school in America. But if they said the average right now is in the late 20s, we could conclude people that's in high school are not giving birth like that. I remember when you came up, D-Darrell, because you left high school back 20 some years ago. And when I left, like almost 20 years ago, right? I can count the amount of people that graduate that was going to be mothers for the first time. Very small. Like, it was like, how much was it? Like 2 people, maybe 3, 4 or 5? I can't remember. It was a long time ago, but it was out of the student body of the graduate class of that year, it was less than a fraction. You get me? And that was in the 2000 era.
Yeah.
When you left, it probably was a little bit more, right? Lidera?
You say what?
When you left high school, there was a little bit more when you left.
Oh, yeah, when I left high school, teen pregnancy in the mid 90s was high.
There you go. But as you know, when I left back in the 2000s, it started to dip down a little bit. You get me?
Okay.
Because to find it at 26.6, that means once 2010 came around, that means maybe 1 out of two people in dependent high school, only 2 or 3 of them are going to give birth for the first time. You get me? It's not 17 years old now, back in late 2000 and early 2010. So around 2010, it was really around the 20s. It's like, but now when they do the data now, I wouldn't be surprised it's age 30 now. You get me? So every decade is actually cutting down, because 17.9 and it went from 20. That's a 10% increase. So it's dropping out every 10%, roughly. You get me?
Yeah.
So
So
when people say that we people are giving birth in high schools, Mimi, no, that's not the case now. That's been gone. And the reason why that is because not only people are waiting longer, but really truly having a kid now in this environment, a lot of women, especially, they're really taking a step back and focusing on the school.
Yeah.
And let me see what she wrote something else. Let me scroll up because I just want to go for her little chats. She also said, you got to understand how came to the answer of the equation is important to understand the steps. Yeah. I live in Iowa, mostly white states. Okay. Does the rate of them having children around the age of 20 also include the rate of abortions? You know, I never really go into the abortion parts. And my reason why I don't do that, because my thing with abortion, a lot of people in America, let's say our community, women will use abortion as a form of birth control. Now, how many are going on that machine to get the baby out? There's data on it. I don't focus on it. But know this, that a lot of women nowadays, they're not going to sit there and just give birth right now at this point by any man, especially any black man. You get me? But my reason why that is because they don't want to experience what their mother go through. You know?
Yeah.
It's a learning experience, to be honest with you. Why a lot of women waiting longer. You get me? I mean,
well, I think it's a host of different things why women, a lot of girls women are waiting longer, and I think that one of the biggest reasons is that there are the accessibility to birth control and the education of that is a lot better, and there are a lot of younger girls in their teens they're probably still having sex at the same rate.
Yes,
but they're just more careful with using protection, and they're not as careless as girls tend. And another thing you have to understand: a lot of these girls now probably had parents who they saw struggle, mothers who they saw struggle due to being single parents at an early age, because you got to understand the kids now have parents who became pregnant when I was a kid, when I was their age, when I was a teenager in the 90s, in the 2000s. So seeing another parent go through that experience could propel a lot of kids not to have sex, delay having sex, or to make sure that they have protection. Are they on birth control, or like they talked about? I'm pretty sure there are some that have gotten abortions, but abortion.
Which I don't want to really talk about because
abortion. Most teenagers don't get most of those abortions are done by younger women who are over the age of 18, between 18 and maybe 25, something like that, in the early mid-20s. It's not teenagers, So that is how I would ascertain that phenomenon taking place. But I do think you do have to look at the abortion rates, because abortion also shows the amount of women who don't have children due to the fact that they undergo that procedure. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, brother. Any last word?
Can I read one more comment before we wrap it up? It seems like my she said she graduated 8 years ago, and I guess she went to all white school. Iowa is a white state, mostly predominantly pure white people. And it said 4 girls that were pregnant in my school, not black, by the way. Yeah, because white teen pregnancy has been on a rise for over a decade now. And right now, what I'm saying what the state's going to do now, they're going to try to make it easier to increase that because of the low birth rate of Caucasian women in this country. So I guess my mind, that makes you 26 now. So yeah, you left a long time. So what you're seeing now, you're only going to see the rise of non-blacks with the uptick of pregnancy, and will not be shamed in their community because they know it is a necessity. But you see, they'll deny our births because the end game is to see less black children in America. That's descendants of slaves. They don't mind any black children that's not from here because they could deal with that. But they're trying to really cut off the people that they owe money to, which is Adolf's people. So I'm gonna let y'all contemplate on that. Go ahead.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. Getting ready for bed. I got a busy day tomorrow. This is my last day of my vacation, so I'm gonna chill out. Appreciate you all for coming in today. Look out for D Darrell content throughout between the rest of this week. Up until the beginning of the new year, I will be doing at least I will be doing at least one live stream a day or one upload a day. So I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, guys, I have a good night. Peace.